The following is a presentation of The Day.
Unprecedented success over recent years has turned Waterford High School's Lancer Nation into Titletown. Now, after a first-round win over Granby, the football team wants to join the party. In their way, the most successful program in the ECC over the past 5 years, the Killingly Redhawks. The name may have changed, but the success remains the same. 5 straight playoff appearances and a state championship. Tonight, they meet as the ECC takes center stage in the Class M semifinals. It's the Redhawks of Killingly at the Lancers of Waterford, and it's live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick. At MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick, the end of the year is here, and this is their gift to you. The Chevy price you pay is what they pay, not a cent more, during MJ Sullivan's Chevy Employee Discount for Everyone sale. That's right, you pay what they pay on every new 2019 and select 2020 Chevrolet models, and not a cent more. This will save you up to $13,000, but it will only last this month. Only at MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick in New London or mjsullivangm.com. Also by Waterford Dental Health, voted the #1 best dental practice 5 years in a row in the Day's Reader's Choice Awards. You can visit them at 177 Boston Post Road or at waterforddentalhealth.com. Live at Waterford High School, Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, and we are going to go right into our national anthem and then exciting Class M semifinal action.
By Waterford High School senior Nina Pizzello.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tonight is the 7th state playoff game between two current members of the Eastern Connecticut Conference. Let's take a look back at the previous 6. In 2015, Manny DeShield Santa Bria ran for 249 yards and 4 touchdowns in the rain and mud as Ledyard toppled Bacon Academy 55-6. In the 2011, Ledyard beat Waterford 26-0 in the Class M semis, with Alex Manwaring rushing for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2008, Richie Vitale ran for 3 touchdowns to lead New London past Montville in the semis before beating Seymour in the Class SS final. In 2006, Wyndham got their first ever playoff win, 22-0 over Ledyard, despite playing without injured star receiver and defensive back Tyrese Nickerson. In 1996, Ben LaBelle ran 29 times for 209 yards and a touchdown as Killingly beat Plainfield 35-14 in the semis on their way to a Class M championship. And in 1978, the Class M final was played at Fitch High School between St. Bernard and East Lyme. East Lyme native Mike Walker, playing for St. Bernard, ran for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. And now Killingly will kick it off to Waterford.
Pretty impressive, partner, isn't it?
I am. And we'll have all things. A squib kick. It hits a Waterford. Lancer bobbling around on the turf, and Waterford will cover at the 35. Let me bring in the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, and we had a nice intro right there.
Yeah,
ACC's got a pretty good history here.
Yeah, fantastic. Add another chapter to the story tonight, Casey. You talked about a team that's fought its way to get here from an 0-10 and a 3-7 season to a team that's been here for their 5th straight state semifinal appearance. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Quietly, maybe it's because of their location, but quietly, Chad Neal joked that he doesn't like that they're not the underdogs anymore, but quietly, Killingly has put all doubt as to who the premier program is in the ECC. 5 consecutive, and this year they stepped up, played the big guys, and they did well. Waterford will have its first possession on a rainy night here at Waterford High School. Ryan Bakken in the shotgun. He'll throw on first down, and out in the flat it goes to Trey Brennan, and it's incomplete. Now, we saw Bakken in this first game come out a little rusty.
Looked a little tight. I think tight is the word to use there, Casey. And this is a Waterford offense that really can't afford a 3-and-out and give the ball to Killingly. They like to run ball control, so important early for Waterford to be sharp and crisp.
We joked that Waterford took a page out of Killingly's book in their semifinal win, playing Hold'em football.
Yeah.
But possessions are definitely at a premium tonight. Second down. In motion, Sanford. And we're going to get a false start, I believe, on Waterford. And that's a problem they also had in the first game.
Yeah, and I think, too, with all the misdirection and some of the big playmaking ability from Waterford, Casey, I think if you went down in between the center and the nose guard and drew a foot in the sand, I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost. Up front, which team can establish a line of scrimmage on both sides of the football?
Well, I think you're right, Sports Doctor. I think the two teams have contrasting styles, but it comes down to the lines on both sides. I'm going to give you an idea of why I like Killingly a little bit in this game after this play, but certainly it's no gimme here tonight.
No.
Second down and 15. Bakken sends Brennan in motion. Jet sweep to Brennan. He has the edge, breaks a tackle, and gets knocked out of bounds. Killingly, Waterford's not the best team Killingly has played. They've played NFA.
Sure.
They've played Berlin. They beat Fitch. They've played big teams. I think this is the best team Waterford has played.
I think without a doubt, yeah. I think East Lyme would be the second best team that they beat on Thanksgiving Day. But, 3rd and 7, we talked about big third down for the offense. This is one of them.
Quarterback keeper by Bakken, and he's going to slide down. And I think because of how he slid, he's going to have the first down, and they're going to move the chains. We've seen him use his legs a lot for success.
No, Coach Strecker calls him the smartest football player he's ever coached. That's a big first down right there for Waterford, Casey. Quincy Foreign back in the mix for Coach Strecker and the Lancers. He's missed the last few weeks. He is back on the field, another one of those playmakers for the Lancers.
Well, he had an injured shoulder that he injured back the same day that Peyton Sutton had his terrible leg injury. And, of course, two-sport athlete is Quincy Foreign. Bakken will operate on first down from the shotgun, going to throw. Rolls to his right and throws and hits Sanford in stride at the 40-yard line, and he carries it to the 30. And that was the best throw we've seen in 2 games from Ryan Bakken.
Yeah, good throw. And the 2 things that Killingly's defense has struggled with this year, we saw him against NFA, Casey. Speed. Speed is one of them. If you got guys who get behind defenders and make some plays, they're to be made out there.
We saw Waterford really struggle in their passing game in the game against Granby Canton, and you've got to think that Killingly wants to go to school on that.
Yeah.
Which means pressuring Bakken and
get
jamming
some
the
pressure
receivers.
up front. You're going to leave yourself exposed on the edge.
In motion, Sanford, handoff to Harshberger on a delay, and he's spun down and tripped up on the tackle. Christopher Jacks, the linebacker.
You got to wonder how much of a page out of the NFA playbook did Waterford take, and being successful against this Red Hawk defense.
I think one of the great things is there's no shortage of film of common opponents. They've got a bunch of common opponents, so they can really go to school on what has succeeded and what hasn't. So 2nd and 9. Killingly shows pressure. Off the edge, there it comes. Bakken elusive. He's going to take off, and he's got a lot of room. He's going to have a first down as he slides. Oh, they're going to mark him just short, right at the stick. I think he pulled up maybe a yard short, but I think that's a smart play.
That's Bakken stepping up, Casey, and making a play with his legs. 2 runs for him on this drive alone, gaining him about 20 yards. That's a good recognition for him to see managers out deep in the pass pattern.
They give the ball on a quick little dive to Harshberger, and I think there's going to be enough there for a first down. We'll see what the official spot looks like.
Yeah, when you send receivers deep in the pass pattern, again, the middle of the field opens up, and Bakken sees it well, and he can make plays with his feet.
Bakken not only runs the ball well when he's as quarterback, but since he runs to the sideline every single play to get the play in, he probably runs an extra mile during the course of the game.
Four common opponents this year by these teams. We'll get into a little bit as we go along.
And we're going to get a timeout quickly on the field. Good timeout. I think Killingley wants to talk some things over. Go back to your common opponents.
Yeah, I mean, the one team that beat Waterford this year was Fitch. Killingley beat Fitch 21-17. And obviously, Waterford lost to Fitch 35-28. But again, Ledyard, Killingley's beaten Ledyard 55-22. Stonington 49-0. You get the common theme here. East Lyme 48-7, where Waterford has beaten 3 out of those 4 teams, and their only loss was to Fitch.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that we could have spent an entire show talking about this game because it's got so many interesting storylines to it. And we haven't even gotten into the characters on both sides. Some of our favorite game day players are involved in this game. Starting with, right now, if you want to win, what's the winning menu? I know there's people watching right now, from all kinds of local establishments, but I know Philomena's is packed right now with people. There needs to be a Harshburger on the menu, right? Mike DeMoro says, let's get it going.
A Harshburger. Extra ketchup on that.
First down, Waterford. Little inside handoff on a delay, and the Killingley read it well. Not much there. Evan Durancel was in on the tackle, along with Jacob Galarza, a name we call all the time.
Talk about football names, Galarza and Harshburger. Let them go one-on-one against each other.
The officials are going to confer. No gain on the play. But, yeah, I mean, if there's got to be a Harshburger someplace. I want to be able to walk in. If I can order a Chris Dunn, I should be able to go in and order a Jackson Harshburger. It's got to be jalapenos on it, though, if it's a Harshburger, no?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sweet potato fries, too.
Yeah, well. So second and down here, Waterford in the red zone at the 20.
Good opening drive here for the Lancers.
Eating some clock, moving the chains. Killingley shows pressure. Off the edge comes Jax. Bachman's going to keep it himself again. He's got some room, heads to the sideline, and pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line by Sam Durancel, but another big run by the quarterback, Bakken.
And again, that's all your receivers deep in the pass pattern. Bakken can step out of the pressure case. He sees the field very well. I would assume Killingley might assign a spy to him here sooner or later.
It's either that or they're going to have to contain on the outside because they're crashing their ends, and he's just taking off. Inside handoff, Harshburger, nothing there, but he bulls his way forward for a yard as he needed half a yard for the first down, and he'll have it.
This opening drive is over 3 minutes long in time of possession for the Lancers. Great start to this football game.
And I think it more importantly than even the amount of time, Sports Doctor, is moving the chains in increments. No, they had some big plays, but just very calm. This Waterford team looks much more at ease than what we saw in the first game against Granby Camp.
A lot looser. House money they're playing with.
First down. In motion goes Brennan. On the jet sweep, Brennan cuts it back inside. Beautiful move. Touchdown. Lancers. Trey Brennan with a beautiful inside run. And the Lancers draw the first score of the game.
That was too easy that time for Trey Brennan. That was a little bit of a stretch play, like I said. Took it, saw the cutback lane, and there's the speed right there of Waterford. Big dividend against the Killingley defense.
Sports Doctor, we've seen guys bounce to the outside all the time. That's an example of a really smart run, cutting it back inside to nowhere.
You see it.
Now Sam Menders will come in for the extra point. He has been the hero of the late season. And that one is up and good. And you couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Waterford. 7-0 here.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes into the drive, just under 3:27 on the button, Casey, and right down the field. And again, it wasn't one of those big pass plays. It was a drive. And Coach Strecker talks about that. We need to maintain time of possession.
And what's so important about them getting points there is, honestly, Killingley doesn't want them to see the ball again this quarter.
No.
Killingley wants them.
Right.
They want an
that's
8-minute drive now.
That's right.
So, possessions really are at a premium.
No 3-and-outs for the Waterford offense. Good start.
So the Red Hawks will have their first possession as their defense was, I think, probably taken a little bit by surprise there as well.
Yeah, a little bit. And I think you make a good point, too, how if Waterford was tight against Granby, that was loosey-goosey and just a well-oiled machine right there.
So Menders will kick it off for the Lancers. Cameron Crow and Jackson Lopes will be back deep for Killingley. Killingley has had an excellent return game over the course of the season. Crow in particular.
Yeah, Crow's fast.
Yeah, he's been very elusive.
He's one of those football players who can make plays on the edge, a little end around, the passing game, you said the return game. He's also thrown the football a time or two this year.
And he's tiny.
Yeah.
He's tiny. He's not a big kid, but he gets into the mix. A little pooch kick into no man's land. It's up in the air. It's loose. I think the Lancers have recovered, and they believe they have as well. Matt Sanford comes out of it on the little trick chicanery by the Lancers, and they'll have the ball in Red Hawk territory.
Well, it's not quite an onside kick, but just as good. Ball's in the air. You got to look into the rain. Little confusion down there with Killingly. Wow, Waterford off to a hot start here.
I believe any Killingly player could have fair caught that.
They could.
Could have waved his hand
yes.
and the ball would go dead. That's a common thing now, that little pop-up kick into no man's land.
Yeah, when that ball usually hits the turf, it's a disaster for the receiving team, especially with a wet football like tonight.
Give Menders credit because he put it in the absolute perfect spot.
Like I said, no man's land.
And that's well rehearsed. The Lancers with an opportunity here to move on that 7-point lead that they've already established. They'll have it here at the 42-yard line. Bakken, inside handoff. Nothing there. Ball's on the turf. They're going to say he was down. And he's second down and 10.
A little bit of a gut check right here for the Red Hawks on defense. They're going to give up a big touchdown drive in the opening possession. Now that I'll call it the onside kick or the pooch kick recovery. So a bit of a gut check here for the Red Hawks on the road.
So loss of 2. It'll be second and 12. Ball is moved back to the 44-yard line as we tick under 8 minutes remaining here in the first period. In motion, Brennan. Bakken to throw. Pressured from the weak side. He's hit and he's dropped. The ball's loose, still loose, and it's picked up by Waterford. Jeremiah Harshberger, the offensive lineman, came up with the fumble as Chris Jacks came around the end and buried Bakken.
Yeah, Harshberger, the center. With Johnny on the spot that time, it could have been disastrous for the Lancers. Good pressure that time. We didn't see that in the initial drive by the Red Hawks. This Jacks, one of those kids that had a big game against NFA a few weeks ago.
Well, they tried to send pressure a couple times, and Bakken just stepped up and ran. That time they contained, and the pocket collapsed around him. And Harshberger had a chance to be like his brother.
Yeah, 4 sacks on the year for Chris Jacks.
Jack sacks?
Jack sacks.
And he eats Big Macs.
He'll be eating Harshbergers tonight.
In motion, Menders, to Menders. A little double reverse. Around the end goes Vincent. Vincent's got blockers. More importantly, speed. First down and more before he's banged out of bounds by Duronsel. Trick play for the Lancers, but it's all going their way right now.
Well, it's not vanilla tonight for the Lancers. It's a little bit of swirl out there and a little bit of a twist. Nice reverse on time by Menders, giving the ball off to Vincent, and he turns on the Jets.
So Duronsel bangs him out of bounds, but not until he's into we're going to mark him just outside of the 20-yard line, so almost the red zone.
That's a full house right there, isn't it?
First down, Lancers. Bakken's going to throw. Pressured. Over the middle, throws it behind, and it's caught. He threw it behind, I think, his intended target, and he hits Menders instead. You got to tell me you don't think that was going for Menders.
Menders would say it was going right for him. They went down, and Menders would tell you it was a back shoulder catch right there.
It went right through the hands of the right behind the intended receiver.
Sanford was the intended receiver.
But again, when it's going your way,
it's
going your way. So far, every bounce has been a Lancer bounce. And now it's first and goal, Waterford from the 5-yard line.
Over 6 minutes time of possession right now for the Lancers.
Handoff straight up the middle. Not much there for Harshberger. It'll be second and goal.
Boy, the spread formation and the speed right now for Waterford giving Killingly a lot of problems.
Well, when they gave it on the little end around, the jet sweep to Menders, everyone's flying in that direction. And so you get your fastest guy, Vincent, on the outside.
Yeah, and we don't see Chad Neal's team become that undisciplined. In that play, they got caught up.
Well, we'll talk about that in a moment as Waterford has second and goal. And Bakken will operate. He'll send Brennan in motion. He gives it to Brennan on the jet sweep. And Brennan's ridden out of bounds after a gain of 1 by Jacks. we talk about the discipline of Killingly, and they certainly have it on the offensive side of the ball.
Right.
Well, we have seen them guilty of over-pursuit and overzealousness on the defensive side of things.
Yes, especially against teams with speed, and that's how you get hurt. NFA, I mean, some of their receivers, the hook and lateral, the big plays before the end of the half.
That's right.
Yep.
So the miracle on senior night only occurs because of their lack of discipline and their overzealousness. So there's something that Waterford maybe saw, that they're overreacting to speed.
I'm sure they looked at that film very, very closely.
Here we go, 3rd down and 4. Remember, Menders is an excellent kicker. Bakken in the shotgun. In motion goes Brennan, but Bakken's going to throw. And that ball is tipped at the line, incomplete.
Yeah, that's a quick slant right there to the inside, Casey. That's the play I like, the Menders jump ball by the pylon. We saw that against East Lyme. The kid's a three-sport athlete. He's a triple jump champ and all whatnot. Let the ball, throw it up there, let him make a play on it.
They're going to bring Menders out, it looks like, to attempt a field goal, but you never know because it's out of the hold of Bakken, so they could do anything right now. They're huddling up. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 4. And right now, that is not a field goal formation. That is a we're going for it formation.
Yep.
4th and 4. Look for the hard count. Bakken's going to throw. Now he rolls. Throws in the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Brennan. It was well defended and incomplete. Nice job on the defensive side of things by Jackson Lopes, and Waterford comes up empty.
Nice job by Killingly holding right there. I'm not too sure if I would not go for 3, especially with a kicker like Menders. You're up by 2 scores on home. But okay.
And even if you miss the field goal, you
still have the ball at the 10-yard line. So this is the Red Hawks' first snap of the ball game on the offensive side.
Well, we got a sports doctor up here in the booth, and we got a nurse down on the field. Quarterback Jacob Nurse leading the Killingly attack. Here on 1st down, the opposite of what you'll see from Waterford. Under center, handoff straight up the middle to Sharp. And Sharp will gain 2, and a nice job in the interior of the line by Waterford as Will Sutman made the stop.
How about this? Jack Sharp, 232 carries for 1,721 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Yes.
1,721 yards.
Sophomore, the next great running back at Killingly High School.
Well, they've carried that tradition over the last 5 or 6 years, haven't they?
They certainly have. And Nurse, we'll talk more about him in a moment as well, under center on 2nd down. Now Sharp goes in motion, and Nurse is going to throw the football in deep, has a man, lofts it in the air, and it's just over the reach of Josh Heaney. He is defended by Sanford, but he had a step, and that ball was just thrown over the outside shoulder.
It's funny there because Nurse threw 3 passes in their victory against New Fairfield last week. He was 2 out of 3 for 16 yards. Both receptions to who? Josh Heaney.
Here's a big play now, 3rd down. Killingly, an uncharacteristic 3rd and long.
There is no deep safety back right now for the Lancers, too. Everybody's crowded the line of scrimmage.
They're going to put their cornerbacks on an island. They're going to make Killingly throw the football. I formation. Pass, hitch and go. Nurse keeps it himself, breaks a tackle, and will get a couple of yards, but enough that will force a Killingly punt.
And you've got great coverage on the outside by Brennan and right down the chute by Hightower, Casey. You talk about leaving your cornerbacks out on the island with no free safety. Job well done right there by those 2 young men.
And that's going to bring up a punt as Jax will step in his own end zone to punt it, and Vincent will go back to his own 45-yard line for the Lancers. Good snap. Punt is a low line drive taken by Vincent at the 40. Breaks a tackle. Heads back towards the middle of the field and does a nice job putting Waterford in great field position at the Killingly 32-yard line.
As this game, unfolds too, and it's still early in the first quarter, Waterford's confidence right now has got to be sky high. Up 7-0, knocking on the door again in their second position, now 1st and 10 at the Killingly 32-yard line.
I think it's their confidence that had them go for it there on 4th and goal and
I
not,
would
and
have
not
kicked
kick
it.
the extra
I
point.
would have kicked
not
it.
kick the field goal.
I would have kicked it.
I would have kicked it too, but they didn't, so we'll move on. 1st down, Waterford. Bakken. In motion, Sanford. Ball's on the turf, and Bakken falls on it. Low snap, and it'll be a loss of 3.
So, guys, that last game against Granby Canton, did Waterford punt once? They went for it on 4th down almost every opportunity, if not every opportunity.
You're right, including a couple of 4th and 9s.
And it's very hard to tell if they're going to punt or not because they line up in the same formation. It's soccer-style kick, you like, Case?
That's right. They do that little pooch punt
Yeah.
with Bakken, but you're right. I don't believe we saw it. So 2nd down, they're going to be 2nd and about 14. Ball's back now at the 37-yard line. Rain starting to come down a little harder. It will be a factor tonight. Handoff straight up the middle. Harshberger breaks a tackle, cuts it up, and puts his head down, pushing towards the marker, and he'll have it. That'll be a 1st down. Jackson Harshberger on a delay.
And there's nobody in the middle of the field defensively for the Red Hawks. They've got, you said, they're crashing down on the edges. If Harshberger can pinch through, get himself to the next level, he's got a big play.
So it'll be 1st down. The rain is starting to come down harder now. You can actually hear the rain hitting the coats of the people outside.
Yeah.
We are, of course, Toasty in the booth with 706 other people, all of whom are out of the ring. 1st down, Bakken to throw, in motion. Brennan, another delay handoff to Harshberger. And Harshberger spins and drags Jonathan Cresswell with him for a yard, and it'll be a 2nd down and about 6.
108 carries, 476 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the year for Jackson Harshberger. And Casey, and what Killingly is doing, too, is they're telling their defensive line, you guys are going to have to make some tackles. So we're going to pinch you on the edges, but the middle of the field is wide open. So if we're not tackling up front, there's going to be some big plays for Waterford.
Right now, Waterford's running the ball. Killingly threw it twice on their first possession. What is going on in the world? 2nd down and 6. Bakken and a hard count, and I think they got the Red Hawks to jump, and they did. And that'll be enough to bring it within a yard. It'll be 2nd and a yard. Nicely done by Ryan Bakken with a hard count.
Encroachment penalty. Easy down and distance here for the Lancers.
2nd and 1. The whole playbook is in the works right now. Handoff Harshberger. Well done by the interior of the Red Hawk line. Harshberger technically never went down. He never actually went to the turf, but forward progress was stopped right away. It'll be 3rd and a yard.
That's Rodriguez Mendez up there, number 54, Reckon Shop, senior defensive end.
They're actually going to say he lost 2, so they're backing it up. It's going to be 3rd and 3 from the 17-yard line. Minute and change remaining here in the first period. Outside it goes on a little jet sweep to the outside, and that was well defended. Brennan had nowhere to go, and now they're going backwards. It's going to bring up 4th and 5, 4th and 6, and I think you're going to see them go for it again.
Yeah, and that was the speed of Jackson Lopes get himself to the outside to make a tackle.
And Menders just
he's
kicked
begging and pleading for a
he
kick.
He just kicked the air.
Yeah,
he just kicked the air like, let me kick it,
begging
coach.
for his shot. He had to beg for it against Granby last week, and it proved to be one of the differences.
Yeah,
Put them up 10-6.
Oh, it changed the complexion of the game for sure.
Yeah.
4th and 5 could be the last play of the quarter.
See Menders on a fade to the corner here. Jump ball.
Bakken, pressure off the edge. Hit right as he's going to throw. They're saying that's a fumble and it's loose. It's picked up by the Red Hawks. Evan Durantzel banged out of bounds at the 40-yard line, but a big turnover, and the Red Hawks have held for the 2nd time inside their own 10.
A bit of an empty hand rule that time for Ryan Bakken, Casey. Huge turnover that time. Pressure from the outside. He was trying to throw the inside slant, and he took a wallop. That is
4
twice.
seconds. Yeah.
I'm thinking I got a 13-0 lead right here if I trust my kicker.
4th.
And why wouldn't I?
That's right. 4 seconds remaining in the quarter. Killingly will have their next possession. Much better field position. Handoff goes to Sharp. Well defended by Waterford. Nicely done, Ethan Welch. And we are at the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Lancers, but some missed opportunities. Join us for second quarter action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
Tonight's game is brought to you by M.J. Sullivan Chevrolet Buick. At M.J. Sullivan Chevrolet Buick, the end of the year is here, and this is their gift to you. The Chevy price you pay is what they pay, not a cent more, during M.J. Sullivan Chevy's Employee Discount for Everyone sale. That's right, you pay what they pay on every new 2019 and select 2020 Chevrolet models. Not a cent more. This will save you up to $13,000, but it will only last this month. Only at M.J. Sullivan Chevrolet Buick in New London or at mjsullivan.com. Game day is also brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, your smile and your health are their top priority. Located at 177 Boston Post Road or waterforddentalhealth.com. Hand off to Lopes. Lopes with a big hole, and he gets up past the 45-yard line. It'll bring up a third and manageable for the Red Hawks.
And again, you're talking about Waterford defensively, Casey. 10 guys, 11 guys up on bodies within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. This is the first time anybody's played Killingly with no deep safety.
And I think it's the first time that Killingly has gone to the end of the quarter down 7-0.
Yeah, and lack of time of possession as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Big
All
third
good
down
points.
here.
3rd and 5. Nurse hands to Lopes, and he's met in the backfield by Sanford. A big stop by the Lancers, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, the one thing I noticed, too, right there for Killingly, in between plays like that, they didn't run the play clock down. They usually bleed that thing down till the back judge has got his hand up, Casey. That was a quick count. Maybe Killingly pressing a little bit right now.
And it looks like they will punt. They send Jax to his own 30-yard line, and Vincent will go back inside his 20.
So they can't capitalize off the turnover. They can flip field position right here, though.
Now, Waterford, though, you're right about the dominating the time of possession.
Yeah.
It's like a flip of what we're seeing. Jax, they're coming after it. He gets off a low liner. It's going to hit the turf, and it skips inside the 20 and out of bounds. It will go at around the 11-yard line. A brilliant punt by Chris Jax, the junior.
Yeah, I mean, Killingly's only ran 6 plays on the offensive side of the ball tonight. 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs.
Wow, that's remarkable. Very unusual, whereas Waterford has had, multiple looks. And you're right, the score is probably certainly not indicative of the success that Waterford's had
this should
offensively.
be 2 scores ahead right now.
So Waterford will have it now. Here's the reverse. Killingly has yet to have a real good field position. Waterford's had nothing but good field position.
Right.
Now they're in the shadow of their own end zone. Ball at the 11-yard line. So what do they do here?
Again, you've seen the slippery ball between Bakken and the snap. You saw the fumble, so maybe Killingly gets a little lucky down here in this end of the field.
First down, Waterford. Bakken's going to keep it himself straight up the middle. Now he cuts it to the outside. Big gain, first down, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line goes Ryan Bakken.
Yeah, nice job that time on the read option that time by Bakken. Gets himself past the line of scrimmage again with the deep pass patterns. A lot of room underneath the run.
Chains will move. The Lancers with a big, not only a gain to get a first down, but get them out of their own end zone area. Now
that's a big run.
Manageable distance now. From the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, Lancers.
I mean, Waterford's been playing downhill this entire football game.
Bakken surveys the Killingly defense. Vincent goes in motion. Jet sweep to Vincent. Needs a block on the edge. Trying to get it on the outside from Menders, and he does. Great job by Menders on the edge. Gets Vincent about 9 yards, and they're going to say a first down. They're going to give him that 10th yard and move the chains.
Yep, the 2 receivers that time. Hightower come out of the backfield to set the edge a little bit, and then Menders cleared the way. And he said, when you have these jet sweeps and these big runs on the outside, you got to have receivers blocking downfield. Good job by Hightower and Sam Menders.
Ball now at the 35-yard line. Waterford looks very comfortable offensively. Insides with Harshberger, outside with the receivers. Really giving Killingly a hard time. Bakken on the quarterback keepers, and
Killingly will call timeout.
Yeah, Killingly's going to call a timeout. So if there's any doubt about the joy of football in New England, last week we had multiple games. The whole slate of games was moved a day because of snow.
Yeah.
Tonight, multiple semifinal games have been moved because of rain. The fields were unplayable because of the amount of rain we had on top of that previous snow. So within a week of each other, it was 20 degrees and snowy, 55 degrees and rainy.
Welcome to Connecticut.
New England
Welcome
is
to New
great.
England,
Isn't that great? You know where they don't have this problem?
Florida,
Texas, California,
I knew you were gonna
and the
say
special
Texas.
parts of Tennessee.
The Smoky Mountains.
That's
right. Rocky Top. 50 degrees. You in the holiday spirit yet?
I'm always in the hot.
Yeah, you were in the train last night, didn't you know? You're always in the holiday spirit.
I am always.
Were you Santa Claus last night?
I'm not. First of all, there's only one Santa Claus.
Okay.
Come on.
I got an important question for you.
Yes.
Think about this. Who is more important, the elves or Rudolph? Don't answer that now.
That's an easy.
Don't
It's
answer that.
an easy question.
Don't answer
I'm embarrassed that you even asked it. This is just first down. Bakken will operate out of his normal shotgun. Now in motion goes Vincent. Delay handoff, and nice job defensively by Killingly. Coming out of the pack for them is Evan Durancel as he drilled Hightower for a loss of 2. Now the answer is the Elves because they do all the work. Rudolph's a one-night wonder. He just, get a story. He had good PR.
You could put a mag light on Commoner to Blitzen or something like that, and he'd get you through the fog.
He's a reindeer with good PR. Bakken pressured, steps up, and he's going to go down under a flurry of Redhawks at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, a little something different right now for Killingly. A little extra pressure, a little extra spice on the outside from Durancel. And he's got the speed to get there, and they got to knock Ryan Bakken off his mark, and they've done it the last 2 plays.
And Bakken comes out limping a little bit. That left leg got banged up on that play, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 14. Ball's going to be at the 31-yard line.
I like the intensity pickup here by Killingly on defense, though. They've got to do something different to rattle his cage a little bit. He's going to need some time back there, Casey, to allow some of these deep patterns to open up a little bit, and Killingly can't let him have that.
Haven't seen the screen yet either, which
No.
we saw very, very effectively in the game against Granby Canton. 3rd down, Bakken to throw. Has some time. That ball is tipped and goes behind Menders off the tipped ball, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, nice job up front. That was Mendez again on the tip, bringing the heat. Number 54, Jonathan Rodriguez Mendez.
Well, as Peter Wappy said, they hadn't punted it yet. Well, if they don't punt 4th and 13 from their own
Pete, what do you think
31-yard
here?
line, I'd say that they're not going to.
Pete, is this punt formation?
This is Waterford punt formation.
Yeah.
You would think they're going to.
High snap. Bakken's going to have to keep it himself, and he just throws it forward.
It could be an incomplete pass, would it not, if he throws it forward like that?
It will be, which would save them a few yards, but the high snap gets Waterford in some trouble, and that's a big, it's not a turnover, but it's a big field position difference. So
That's a big break right there for the Redhawks.
I mean, this is great field
Yeah.
position. Killingly can't ask for anything better than this. They're going to have the ball in Waterford territory at the 27-yard line.
Why is the kicking game and the punting aspect so challenging for Waterford?
I think part of it starts with that in-between snap.
Yeah.
It's,
A
you know,
soccer-style kick.
Well, it's not the long snap. It's not a regular
Yeah.
snap. It's kind of an in-between snap. It's a tough one. I formation for the Redhawks. Handoff goes to Sharp. And Sharp will have about 3 before he's brought down by Aiden Hansen. That's a good first down gain. This is where Killingly has to establish that.
I was just going to make that point. This is the time of the game, down by 7, on the road, just under 9 minutes. Only their 7th offensive play. Let's get number 33 in the mix here, and let's start pushing people around. RPO, run people over, as Chad Neal would say.
I formation again. Nurse fakes the stretch, keeps it himself. Gets a block, and he'll have about 4. It'll bring up 3rd, and they're looking like maybe 2.
And that's Killingly's answer to Waterford loading the box. You got 9 guys in the box. Okay, we're going to use Sharp as a lead blocker, and the quarterback can make some plays with his feet and get to the edge. He's very, very good. He's one of the better dual-threat quarterbacks we've seen at Killingly in a long time.
Not as much as we thought. They're going to say 3rd and a long 3. Clock down to 8 minutes as the Redhawks get on the ball.
I like Nurse with the ball in his hands. Good player.
Gonna throw, and he throws it low for Crow. Trying to throw a little screen pass out to Cameron Crow, incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down, but certainly the Red Hawks will go for it here on 4th and 4.
Okay. I thought I was going to see 2 runs up the middle by number 33, Jack Sharp. A little cute on the edge, trying to get the ball to Crow.
I'd say both teams have fooled us a little bit here on the play calls.
A little too sexy, maybe.
4th and 4, I formation.
9 guys in the box for the Lancers.
Little end around to Crow. Sanford is there, holds him up, and the Lancers will hold. Great play by Sanford. He came in and got Crow on the little end around. And that is a turnover on downs for the Red Hawks.
Just a little too cute on back-to-back plays by a team that's been running people over all year long. Try to get the ball to Crow the edge on the bubble screen, and that time on the reverse. That time Waterford, a much more disciplined football team.
Well, Sanford did a great job. Olbrist is the guy that actually made the tackle, but Sanford did a great job. Got inside his man, into the backfield. Well done. And the Lancers have, believe it or not, this is the offense with no defense, and their defense has been playing fabulous in both this game and the previous one.
They've matched up well at the line of scrimmage with Killingly. It's surprising for me. I thought Killingly would own the line of scrimmage tonight.
Another possession for Waterford. In motion, Sokolski. Bakken's going to keep it himself, and he'll fall forward for about 3 yards. Coming off the pile for Killingly is Connor Leduc. 2nd down.
So in the other Class M final, Weston out to a 17-0 lead over Rockville. Just running away with that game so far in the first half.
I think
we talked about Rockville kind of being a bit of a soft number 1 seed.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after this play. I think that's an interesting game. 2nd down and 6 for Waterford. In motion, Foreign. High snap. Delay handoff, Harshberger. Harshberger will gain 2 or 3 more. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Big 3rd down for this defense.
Both Waterford and Killingly agreed that the 2 teams they didn't want to see, that the team that they were Weston and New Fairfield.
Right.
Killingly drew New Fairfield, won the game. I think everyone realized that Weston was going to be a tough out.
Yeah, pretty good.
3rd and 4, in motion, Brennan. Bakken's going to throw over the middle, has his man complete. It's Foreign. Foreign crosses the 50, crosses the 40, crosses the 30, wrestling with Heaney, and he's down inside the 25-yard line. Welcome back, Quincy Foreign.
43 yards on the pitch and catch that time between Bakken and Foreign. Middle of the field was wide open, and speed kills, my friend. Big play by Quincy Foreign. How's his shoulder?
Foreign, the dual threat lacrosse player, as well as football player, hurt his shoulder, missed some time. I know his father well.
Yeah.
He had to decide if he was going to have surgery and miss the remainder of football, possibly miss some lacrosse. And he said, no, I want to stay with his team.
Yeah, he ain't missing this game, yeah.
And good for you. Big play and a great throw by Bakken under pressure off his back foot. In motion, Brennan. Brennan gets it on the end around. Looks for a block, cuts it inside. Now cuts it back outside, and they're going to call, looks like they're going to call Foreign on a block in the back, it looks like, at the 25.
Yeah, I'm not going to guess the penalty. Done doing that. Wait till the officials state it.
Block in the back against Waterford.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I wasn't going to guess it.
Just like I said it was. I mean, you guys act like
Casey is now 2 for 20 on the year.
I was going to say, you guys act like I have some lousy percentage at this.
Penalties and turnovers.
On Thanksgiving Day, I had a 50-50 chance twice. Peter both times said, I will go the opposite of whatever you choose, and he was right both times.
Mike and I were making mistakes in numbers all day long on penalty calls.
So that's a huge penalty. First and forever now for Waterford. Rain coming down harder. Bakken has time this time. Throws on the slant to Sokolski, and that's incomplete. Never really had anything. Good downfield coverage by the Redhawks.
Yeah, good job that time by Killingly. Menders covered. Harshberger covered in the flat. They were looking for him in the wheel route, but a better job of Killingly defending downfield. And if Bakken doesn't have anybody downfield quick, he looks to his check down. That time he was covered.
So 3rd and long.
It's pouring out there now.
There are occasions when we do games that we can't really capture just how hard it's raining.
It's pouring.
I'm looking at our monitor right now. No, we got it. It's raining really hard out there.
The only thing missing right now is a little wind for some sideways rain. It'd be-
Sports doctor put it in the universe, not me. Second and long. Bakken's going to throw. Has time. Tipped again at the line. Killingly, if nothing else, has done a fabulous job of tipping at the line. Galarza got his big paw on that one.
Yeah, like you said, that's Galarza up front. Again, big man in action, Casey. 6'2", junior defensive end. And a better job of the defensive lineman for Killingly, getting off their blocks and being able to deflect some balls. That's about the third deflection tonight.
And that sound you're hearing, that is the rain falling on the trash bag that is covering our camera and our microphone, operated out there by Tim Cook.
The best equipment.
Who will be soldiering through the rain for us.
That's not what we call pitter-patter, is it? That is not pitter-patter.
That is, we're beyond pitter-patter.
I'm going to bring something up after this play for all of those involved in our game day project. But third down, Bakken's going to throw. Here comes Killingly pressure. Has Menders, and he throws it well out of bounds as he was pressured heavily by Mason Smith as well as Jonathan Rodriguez-Mendez. So in the pregame, we ran all the times the ECC teams have met up. And you couldn't see Manny DeShields Sanbria's number because he was covered in mud. You couldn't see Alec Manwaring's number because it was covered in mud. You couldn't see Richie Vitale because he was covered in mud. And they play on turf.
Right.
What is it about the rain in these semifinals?
I don't know. I mean, John Strecker told me before the game, too. He says, thank God we're playing this game here on the turf and not going to Killingly.
I think that New London game was pre-turf.
Yeah.
Oh, was it before?
That was 08, yeah.
And it was because it was muddy. Every place we looked, it was muddy.
The Quagmire case.
Even the newspaper clips, it looked muddy. Fourth down, Waterford's going to punt. Bakken gets it off. It's a sideways bouncer. Takes a great bounce inside the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, and Waterford will down it at the 1. Menders and Brennan, and you couldn't get a better result. Nice job by Bakken.
So I stand corrected. I like that punt formation. Right down to the 1 yard line.
Well, you got to get a good snap.
Yeah.
That's the key. And, I mean, Killingly, where nothing has really gone right for the Redhawks offensively, now they're at their own 1 yard line.
Yeah, 1 first down thus far for the Redhawks tonight. Think about that, 1 first down. And a team that's used to dominating time of possession.
Yeah, so much was made of Killingly's ability to play keep away and their how much they have dominated not just the possession time but the line of scrimmage. And tonight it's been a just polar opposite as Waterford has taken all of that away and then some. So Nurse will operate under center from his 1 yard line. Hard count, toss, and great job on Sharp. Center of the Waterford line, Sutman.
Rosario out there on the tackle as well. Jeremiah Harshberger out there making some plays.
Yeah, you got everybody working right now for Waterford defensively. They have done a great job on the interior of that line.
They are not intimidated one bit.
Here comes a 2nd and 10.
Boy, these kind of situations take Killingly out of their MO a little bit on the offensive end.
Handoff to Lopes. And now again, nothing doing. That's second consecutive time they've tried to hit that off-tackle play, nothing there.
Yeah, that's up front people for Waterford just doing work. And then you got Sanford flying to the football. Harshberger, Jackson Harshberger from his middle linebacker position. Good pursuit, good tackling up front for the Lancers. See the way they fly to the football, Casey, to help out the defensive line?
3rd and 8 and a huge play for the Redhawks because with 4.5 minutes remaining, they don't get this, and Waterford's going to set up shop in great field position. And they could even come after the punt. 3rd and 8. Nurse wants Sharp on the other side, and we're going to get a timeout. Killingly's going to call a timeout. Their final timeout of the half.
Some confusion for one of the most well-disciplined teams I've seen all year long in high school football. A little confusion out there.
Going back to the other semifinal, where we're seeing the number 1 seed in jeopardy. One of the things I love about when the seeds come out is you always look for not the fraud, but you look for the team who doesn't have the pedigree, the team that doesn't have the history. So when you're looking at this, you look at Killingly and you go, you know they're real, right? You know New Fairfield plays in a great conference. You know Weston has had a lot of success there playing team. You looked at Granby Canton and you said they never won a playoff game.
Right.
You looked at Waterford and you said they've never won a playoff game. But a little bit different, this team with all of the success of Lancer Nation and all that. But right now you're looking at the premier program versus a school just that at this point thinks it's almost like their birthright to win championships.
Right. I will say this. When people talk about, when we've talked about it too, the soft schedule this year for Waterford, maybe that's helped them build a little confidence this year too. Maybe winning is infectious. It doesn't matter who they play. I know you don't like that philosophy at times, but they believe in themselves, Case. 10-1 is 10-1.
Well, 3rd and 8, ball at the own 3-yard line. Nurse, hand off to Sharp. Sharp has a hole. Sharp's going to be close to a first down, but I think he's going to be just short. And does Killingly have the courage to go for it?
I would not go for it.
3rd and a yard. Ball is at the 10-yard line. Do they have the courage?
Quarterback sneak.
Chad Neal says yes. Nurse, quarterback keeper, and he's going to have enough for the first down.
I think there was a bit of an attitude adjustment with that front line during that timeout by Chad Neal, and he was probably frustrated with his troops, and he said, let's go.
3 minutes and 30 seconds. First down, Killingly. Big time play to get the first down. Nurse, gonna throw, has his man, wide open, it's Crow at the 40, at the 30, ball's loose, and Waterford will recover. Huge play by Brennan. Cameron Crow made the catch. Brennan's speed caught him, knocked the ball loose, and the Lancers recover.
Crow shaking up a bit on the play.
That was a perfectly designed and perfectly timed play-action pass. Nurse underthrew it a little bit. Crow had to come back for it. But what a play by Brennan.
Yeah, Chad Neal's down there begging that the ground caused the fumble. I think to see that again. He's going to go talk to the referee right now. He's saying the ground had caused the fumble, and we should be our football. But let's take a look at it right here. That ball is out. That ball is out. That's a great play that time by Brennan.
So
that
Brennan
ball is out.
Yeah, great play. He bangs it from behind. Ball pops out. But even again, 2 guys to the football.
Yes.
Waterford, Brennan didn't give up, but neither
Hightower,
did Hightower.
Hightower stayed with it, yeah. That ball was out.
So that's just a great hustle play by both. And Waterford will have the ball with 3 minutes and they had a good field position at their own 40.
Huge play. The perfect play at the perfect time for Chad Neal, and then a fumble. And the coach is going to plead his case over there until he sees the replay and he realizes that, that ball was out. Maybe he'll get the call next time. That's a great play by Brennan.
Yeah, and I can't say enough. It was a great play ball by Killingly.
Yeah.
Underthrown by Nurse, but Crow caught the ball, and then Brennan and Hightower.
60 yards on the completion on the
was
catch and run, yeah.
Yeah,
it was underthrown, yes.
I'm not suggesting that I could make the throw either. I'm just saying it was underthrown.
Right, if the ball's on the numbers, he's in the end zone.
The officials are huddling, and if
they can't.
If
they cannot overturn this.
They're going to be They're going to be so disappointed. They huddle and they say
incomplete pass.
They're going back.
They're going to say incomplete pass.
They're going to say the ball was incomplete.
Wow, what is
inadvertent whistle?
Inadvertent whistle. So inadvertent whistle on the incomplete pass or on the play? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that never happened.
All right.
If these fans are upset, they have every right to be upset. That was a completion and a fumble.
They may have every right to be upset. We don't know when the whistle occurred. If the whistle occurred prior to the play happening, then maybe they don't have a right to be upset. Well, they could be upset. It's their.
Was there a penalty that caused the whistle? Was there a false start? Was there anything?
I don't know.
So on the snap, the whistle just blew.
Inadvertent means he accidentally blew it. Here's what we know. It's 1st and 10 Killingly. Back at the 17-yard line. And basically we're having what's called a do-over.
Do-over, yes, okay.
Nurse gonna throw, zips it, has his man complete. It's Keefe. Keefe down the sideline and knocked out of bounds. What a change of 2 plays. It looked like Waterford was going to have the ball. Instead, Killingly's in business in Lancer territory.
Yeah, 44 yards on the pitch and catch that time to Keefe. Boy, he got himself in an open space and turned on the Jets. That's 80 yards on 2 plays.
And the rain is now coming down even harder. Nurse, stretch handoff to Sharp. Sharp breaks a tackle, and he'll have 7 yards on first down to the 30-yard line.
Boy, Sharp keeping his legs moving in the hole, hits it, finishes it. His best run of the day right there.
Harshberger made the stop, but not until a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Clock ticking, 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first half.
It's hard to tell through the rain, but there's a little life on the Killingly sidelines right now. A little energy.
Well, water is one of the crucial elements in the giving of life. For 2nd and 4. Nurse under center. Handoff goes again to Sharp. Sharp breaks tackle. Sharp has Brennan, takes him for a piggyback ride. 1st down, Killingly.
Oh, Sharp right there, Casey. All Sharp that time. Just busts his way through the line, gets himself 10 yards down the field, and this is the Redmond offense we've been used to seeing all year long.
Remember, Killingly
starts up front.
Remember, Killingly will get the ball. Nurse, nothing there. Sanford, who has played the half of the year for him, got to him as a gain before he got a gain and lost a yard.
Again, too, all that pounding with Sharp is going to set you up something on the edge for your quarterback, but a great job that time by Sanford. Again, 2nd time this game, Casey, he stayed home and made a play.
As the rain continues to pour at Waterford High School, we are down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. Remember, Killingly is out of timeouts. Waterford has all 3 of theirs, and Killingly will go from the I on 2nd and 11. Nurse wants to throw, has his man complete right near the sticks. It goes to Heaney, and I believe it's going to be enough for a 1st down. We'll see where they mark it.
2 catches for 16 yards for Heaney against New Fairfield last week.
They're going to mark him a yard short, so here's 2 downs for the Red Hawks here. 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining. Ball is just outside the 10-yard line. Here comes that split set. Wide pro set now in motion. Handoff Lopes. He'll have the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal Red Hawks.
633 yards on the season for Lopes and 14 touchdowns.
So 1st and goal Red Hawks, 57 seconds and counting. No timeouts. They are limited to how many times they can get to this football. Waterford has to dig deep here to maintain their 7-0 lead. Lopes the tailback, Sharp the fullback. Nurse gonna quarterback keep around the end, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds by Brennan.
Talked about that time, Casey. We talked about Sharp and Lopes leading the way as the blocker. That time Nurse becomes a tailback, almost out of the I position. Sticks his head down and gets himself to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, 2nd and goal, and with 35 seconds remaining, I don't know that they can run a lot to the inside part of the field.
Right, a smart play to get out of bounds, too.
It really was, you're correct. Now they're going to go from the power I. They bring in Jonathan Cresswell to go along with Sharp, and it looks like Waterford is going to call their 1st timeout of the half.
Yeah, a different look that time maybe for Chad Neal, full house backfield. Waterford takes a timeout, but what a huge turn of events. You had a 42-yard completion that was a fumble, that was a do-over because of an inadvertent whistle, and then a 44-yard pitch and catch, and here you go, Killingly's knocking on the door, looking to tie the game up in a first half, Casey, which they've been dominated in.
Watching Killingly in this drive, it's like, where has this been?
Yeah.
So, guys, I wanted to say we've got a veritable who's who of local Connecticut journalists, sports journalists in the press box here. Our own Mike DeMoro Joe Morelli, Vicky Fulkerson. Now let's take a look down on the field. The day's Ned Griffin, standing on the sideline with his clipboard in a trash bag.
That's sort of a metaphor for Ned. If you be careful that one of the players doesn't dive for you when they go for a touchdown, though.
What is the odds that he's got a tie-dye T-shirt on underneath that trash bag?
75%.
I would go 90%.
90%, okay.
Over to his right, Sarah Gordon, our photographer out there doing the hard work in the rain as well. But so Ned would be wearing that outfit if it were 10 degrees and snowing as well.
Big play here.
2nd and 5. Killenly changes up the formation. They go back to the I. Sharp is the tailback. Hand off to Sharp. Big hole up the middle. Touchdown, Redhawks. Jack Sharp.
Offensive line created a hole, and Sharp danced right through it. Jack Sharp. 13 TDs coming in. How about a smooth 14?
Hard to believe all the points Waterford has left on the field today in the first half, that we are 30 seconds away and an extra point from Jacks from going into halftime tied at 7. Snap is good, hold is good, kick sails up and through, and we are tied at 7.
I think it's a 99-yard drive, is it not? That drive started back on the 1-yard line, so they went the entire distance of the field. They got the ball back with, 3:01 left to go before the half. Took them 2.5 minutes, a play that didn't count. And here you go, it's tied up. Hey, you talked about that too, and I'll bring this up. Waterford should be winning this football game. At least 10-7, 13-7, something. They've outplayed Killing in the first half.
Start with that drive for Killing where the following things happened. They went forward on 4th down from their own 9-yard line.
Yeah.
All right, they got that first down. They had their biggest offensive play of the game, which they in turn lost the ball on.
Didn't count.
Had a do-over.
Right.
Had their longest play of the game again, and then turned into Killingly all of a sudden.
Right. With Jack Sharp and power football.
And scored the touchdown to tie the game. And that's a pretty incredible drive.
Listen, we saw him down here on the other end they try to get a little too cute on the edge and some of the reverses and stuff like that. Listen, north-south, RPO, run people over. That's their game.
After the kickoff, I'm going to ask you a question because these are your Waterford High School Lancers.
I did predict him to be in his spot, and you guys will pay up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Peter has no voice.
End-over-end kick. Comes down, and Vincent drops it at the 10. Now he'll head upfield and just got to hold on to the football, and he does, crosses the 10-yard line with 25 seconds remaining. Waterford had the pooch kick recovery.
Yes.
Waterford had 3 different fumbles go right to them appropriately.
Yes.
Waterford has had, I would suggest, the best field position they've been on the Killingly side of things almost all night long.
You are correct.
Has Waterford emptied the tank of the karma for tonight going into the half?
To be continued. They should have the lead in this game. There's no doubt about it.
Waterford will take a knee, and we will run those last 24 seconds off.
So you have no recollection at all of me praising Waterford preseason, you and Peter, our producer here, about
Peter, do you have any
they were
recollection?
going to win 7 or 8 games?
Something about...
I don't remember that at all. I remember Casey and I being very high on Waterford.
Yeah. Matter of fact, didn't we pick a Waterford Killingly semifinal? I think we did.
Well, you are correct.
All right, the clock has struck 0. We're at halftime on a rainy night at Waterford. Halftime show and then second half action. Join us on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Another handoff to Sharp, cuts it back inside, breaks a tackle, heads for the end zone, dives, and touchdown, Redhawks, Jack Sharp. And that drive was sharp for the Redhawks. They go up 6-0. Handoff, goes to Sharp, breaks a tackle, Sharp rumbles, breaks another tackle, cuts it back inside, still on his feet, first down to the 30-yard line, Jack Sharp cutting through like a knife. Handoff Sharp, puts his head down, buries, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Redhawks. Jack Sharp with his second of the game. Here's a big hole for Sharp, and it's a first down.
Ball's
Ball
out.
loose. Bounces up in the air, and it's still loose. Who's got
I
it?
think London's got it.
Whaler's signal. Well, Clayton Smith says they have it, and he is correct. High snap again. Pratt's is going to throw. Has time, rolls right, throws on the run, and into 2 Whalers, but it's caught by Williams.
Yeah.
Pratt's gonna throw, being pressured, evades the tackle of Galarza. Shimmying, lots of feet, lots of time, and now he's buried at the 35-yard line. Too much dancing, not enough throwing. Little fullback dive, and still on his feet. Big play, still rumbling. Keanu Gonzalez with the carry. Fake, there it is, there's a tight end, open, down the middle, instead it's Crow, and it's complete at the 45-yard line. Cameron Crow. New London crowds the line. Gonzalez, Nurse is gonna throw, has his man, complete to Keefe for a first down to the 20-yard line. I formation, handoff, Lopes, Sharp instead, Sharp, head down, dives to the end zone, just short. Quarterback keeper puts his head down. Was it
slipped
in?
A little bit.
He did slip. We're still waiting for the official signature. Touchdown, Redhawks. Handoff, Williams, big hole, cuts it to the outside, bounces off a tackler, still on his feet, crosses the 35-yard line. Williams is the lone setback. Pratt's deep down the sideline, in the air, looking for Lancaster. Penalty flag down, but he makes the catch at the 10-yard line. Pratt's is going to throw. Corner out, looking for Callender. He goes up, and it's complete. Touchdown. Touchdown, Charles Ziegler. Third down, Pratt's. Plenty of time. Killingly in the prevent, over the middle, wide open, Callender at the 40. Callender puts his head down and gets up to midfield. Pratt's looking that way, on the slant, off Lancaster's hands, and it's intercepted.
And that ball was there. Lancaster was wide open.
Third down and 6. Hand off to Sharp, up the middle. First down, and with that goes your ball game.
Sharp just finishing that run.
First down, Bacon. Handoff. Big hole. Up the middle. It's Terrence Ginnack, and he's got a first down into Waterford territory. Kelsey. Again, handoff. Ginnack, straight up the middle. He's got speed. He's into the open, and he's going to score a Bacon Academy touchdown. First down, Lancers from their 20. Keeper. Bakken.
Lot of room.
Tons of room. Gets a block. Open field and falls down at the 45-yard line. In motion, Brennan. Handoff, straight up the middle. Hightower with a big hole and a big gain and a first down for the Lancers. First and goal, Lancers.
7-man front.
Handoff, Harshberger, touchdown, Waterford. Jackson Harshberger. So Baldiga will stand just inside his own 20.
Nobody back for the Lancers.
Snap is good, and it is going to be a fake. Baldiga, and he's not going to get it.
Oh, boy.
Bakken from the shotgun. Harshberger in the backfield. He's going to throw. Plenty of time over the middle. Menders wide open, and he'll be tackled just outside the 10-yard line. Bakken, pressure, blitz, inside slant. Sutman hit and into the end zone for a Waterford touchdown. Beautiful throw from Ryan Bakken to Peyton Sutman. Bakken gonna throw all the time in the world.
Looking for
Deep
Menders.
down over the middle of the field, looking for Vincent. He goes up and he takes it away. Huge play. He took it away from Ginnack at the 30-yard line. 2nd and 2. Bakken is gonna throw. Has time. Looking for Menders. Touchdown, Sam Menders. Beautiful catch, beautiful throw. Kelsey, good snap. Pressured, and he's gonna be sacked. Big pressure. Harshberger was the first one to get him. Next in was Jeremy Heineck. 3rd and 2. Waterford right up to the line. Bakken hands off to Hightower. Big hole straight up the middle. Touchdown, Lancers. Christian Hightower. Kelsey to throw. Pressured. Rolls right. Looking to escape, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. Heading down the sideline is Matthew Olbrus. Olbrus inside the 10. Huge play. Lancers ill-advised attempt by Kelsey, but they'll go for it. Bakken's going to throw.
Pressure.
Over the middle, has his man, and it's complete for the touchdown. Michael Vincent. Touchdown, Lancers. Perfectly thrown ball. Vincent on the slant. Beautiful catch. Little reverse to Ginnack. Ginnack crosses the 10, cuts it up inside. Touchdown, Bacon Academy. Terrence Ginnack with his 2nd touchdown of the game. you mentioned that there's a lot left. There's Bakken deep down the sideline, has his man in stride. Sutman, touchdown! All day long it's been soup, but soup is not a meal. That was a meal right there. Deep ball to Peyton Sutman for the touchdown. First down. Kelsey to throw. Has time, throws over the middle, has his man, and it's intercepted. Intercepted off the tip. Tipped off of Nunez.
Gage Henry on the interception that time.
Gonna pass, screen pass, caught by Heaney. Heaney breaks tackle, crosses the 50, and shoved out of bounds. Big gain, first down, Josh Heaney. Third down play, 3rd and 6 from the 8-yard line. Nurse under center. Gonna hand the ball off, fake now, on the little end around, it's Crow. Crow cuts it inside, diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Redhawks! Chris Jacks will come in for the extra point. Snap is high, but they get it down, and the kick is blocked. And it'll be no good, and 6-0 here in the early going. Desalis gonna pass on the slant. Cody makes a move, cuts it inside, breaks another tackle, heading for the end zone. What a play! Touchdown, Andrew Cody. Redemption for the drop, and the Wildcats have tied it at 6. Nurse gonna throw, rolls, gonna keep it himself. He needs a block, he gets one, cuts to the outside, first down and more. Nurse pushed out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. For the Redhawks on 3rd down, keeps it himself, heads to the pylon, one man to beat, dives, waiting for the signal, touchdown, Jacob Nurse. Redhawks take the lead. Gonna hand it off, fake, and there it goes around the other end to Cameron Crow, and Cameron Crow has the 2 for the Redhawks. First down NFA, looking like they got something going here. Desalis gives it to Outlaw for a 3rd time, but that time he is wrapped up by a biggin. That's 64, Jacob Galarza. They've pinned him back twice. See what they can do on this 3rd one. They're going to get another great bounce.
Good. Look at these.
What a great bounce. That is 3 fabulous punts. 3rd and 6, 4:13 remaining, and Nurse under center for Killenly. Big
play,
third down play.
big 3rd down for both teams.
There's going to be a pass. Wide open. Down the sideline. Nate Keefe shoved out of bounds. Huge play. Nurse. Play action fooled everyone, including me. Keefe wide open. Toss right to Lopes. Cuts inside. Needs to break a tackle. And swarming to the ball, a host of Wildcats. Desalis will operate out of the shotgun. Stands back at his own 32. Gonna throw. Plenty of time. Pumps. Now dumps it into the pattern to Cody. Cody has a first down. Crosses midfield. Still on his feet. Breaks another tackle. And gonna be wrestled to the ground at the 40-yard line at the 38. Fake handoff. Looking downfield, Desalis slings it over the middle for Mulkentine. It's caught. What a catch by Mulkentine. And he loses the ball. And he's down on the goal line. Let's see what the officials say. They're going to say catch at the goal line. On first down, Desalis hands off to Outlaw. Outlaw puts his head in down, and touchdown, Wildcats. Nurse. No, he's going to hand it off to Sharp. Sharp goes outside, puts his head down, first down, but that'll take us to halftime. So we're at halftime here at NFA. We're going to take a break in a moment, send you to commercial. There's a little Donnybrook on the field right now. Flag goes down. We're going to sort that out before we send it anywhere. Nurse.
Okay, here we go. Oops.
And we're back.
Hey.
Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, Peter Wappy, the voice behind the screen here as well. 7-7 at halftime, Waterford and Killingley.
A lot of action tonight, too. A lot of action across the state.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the scores across the state, but before we do that, let's just explain the whistle, the inadvertent whistle. So you were out getting the scoop, and I got the scoop as well. So what happened on that play, the pass play from Nurse to Cameron Crow, which looked like it was a fumble and an incomplete, and then the official blew the whistle when he saw Crow go to the turf and the ball come loose, thinking that it was an incomplete pass. So he blew the whistle. Chad Neal argued that once he blew the whistle,
his players stopped.
Yes. Now, Chad, who I give a lot of credit to, clearly knew that he had no player within 20 yards of that fumble.
Right.
And Crow was down on the ground. But he's right. Once the whistle blows, his players aren't going to go after the football.
Right.
So they get to choose the result of the play or a do-over. Clearly, you're not choosing the result of the play.
Right.
You're choosing the do-over.
Do-over,
so
yeah.
Inadvertent whistle, and that resulted it. So we're 7-7 at the half. Let's talk about the other games and the other Class M semifinal. Weston 19-0 over Rockville. Any surprise there for you?
I don't think so. I don't think to the knowledgeable high school football fan, we talked about, Weston with the pedigree and Rockville maybe being a bit of a soft number 1 seed if there's such a thing.
We'll go down into S, where I think everyone was hoping for that Ansonia-Bloomfield matchup. Well, Bloomfield's doing its part right now, up 19-0 over Plainville. But on the other side of things, Ansonia in a battle with Sheehan, 16-14. Sheehan's tough. That's a tough school. We've seen them in basketball and football. That's going to be an interesting game, and a lot of people liked Sheehan to beat Ansonia in that game. Those two teams are battling. We're going to skip L for a moment and go up to double L. We're in double L.
Yeah.
Darien is in a dogfight, 14-12 over the Southington. Now you're talking about pedigree teams.
Both of them.
Right, so
state championships on a high level, Casey. That's a good game to be at right now.
So no matter how good Darien is, Southington does never feel like it's an underdog. Right?
Why would they?
That's right. So, and then of course on the other side of things, Newtown up 10-0 over that upstart Simsbury team.
Mm-hmm.
Newtown looking to collide with Darien. But then everyone's talked about the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state, right? Hand, who last lost when I was in high school, it feels like, and St. Joseph's. Well,
you can flip-flop those two teams, number 1, number 2. I don't think anybody would give you an argument. Yeah.
Well, Hand's up 15-0 over Maloney, and I'm going to tell you what, Maloney's a very good team. Maloney has had to play Hand last year in the state final, this year in the semifinal. They're going, can we have anybody else? Well, be careful what you wish for, because if you got the other else, St. Joseph's up 35-0 over New Canaan. That's a
crazy.
good New Canaan team.
That's a New Canaan team that lost a couple games earlier, then got hot. They beat Darien on Turkey Day. I mean, that was an 8-2 team. You talk about state championships, and St. Joe's is dispatching them. That's a good football team.
Which, everyone wants to see the Hand St. Joseph's final. Well, St. Joseph's is definitely doing their side to get in, and looks like Hand's going to match them up.
Yeah, that's shocking to me about Hand, because like you said, they've been steamrolling people and just blowing people out for like the last 4 years. Looking for their third straight. Both teams looking for their third straight state championship.
So to recap one more time, in Class S, Ansonia was up the last time we checked, 16-14 over Sheehan. Bloomfield 19-0 over Plainville. In Class M, here we're tied at 7, Waterford and Killingly. Weston up 19-0 over Rockville. In Class L, St. Joseph's up 35-0 over New Canaan. Hand 15-0 over Maloney. And up in double L, Darien 14-12 over Southington, and Newtown up 10-0 over Simsbury.
Yeah, good stuff. And championship games coming up this weekend. Does it seem like there's like about 90 people in the booth tonight?
At times there have felt like there were more than that as well.
It's a little crammed in here. It gets a little steamy on the windows. Get some raindrops up there as well. But you're doing a heck of a job, aren't you?
I'm not going to ruin anything, but the rain is not as hard right now as it was late in the first half.
Right.
Where it was coming down in sheets. Let's talk a little bit more about that first half. I asked you before the half, did Waterford sort of empty the revolver out there? They threw everything but the kitchen sink early, and Killingly seems to have made their adjustments.
Yeah, maybe. You go back to the Ohio State-Wisconsin game this past weekend. Wisconsin took a big lead, and Ohio State came out and flattened them in the second half. But in my opinion, Waterford should be leading this football game. Whether it's 10-7, 13-7, they had two opportunities to come away with points, and they didn't. And I think Chad Neal going for it on 4th and 1 from your own 10-yard line, he told his guys, he said, listen, we're going to make a stand, and we're going to do it right now. He needed something to fire his team up. He needed something for his kids to believe in and say, listen, this is what we do. And I think it paid big dividends.
Well, I am definitely a believer in the emotion and the momentum of things. But as you know, I'm far more of a scheme and numbers guy.
Sure
so I think it comes down to this. Waterford threw a wrinkle at Killingly that they have not seen.
Yep.
They have no safeties on the field right now.
Right.
The middle of the field, they're playing everybody. So they're playing 9 in the box, and they're playing single coverage on whoever the wide receivers are, and they're trusting Harshberger and Sanford to be able to contain on the ends.
Right.
And they're saying that if Nurse can throw the football into single coverage and get them, that's what. And
well, didn't he show you on back-to-back throws that he may have that ability?
Maybe, because I think Waterford had, you can't ask for more success than they had up until that final drive.
Right.
As much, other than the one big play, or back-to-back big plays, as it turns out, with the fumble, his
Two plays 80 yards, but
I'll
one
let
of them counted.
I'll
Yeah.
let him throw the 10-yard outs.
Right.
If he can do that consistently,
But
all
I
night,
don't
no
think that he
problem.
wants to do that.
No.
I think he wants to get that 30-yard pass play. You saw, Crow or whoever. That's their when they go to the passing game, it's going to be a home run.
And I think if it's crazy to say this, but it's death by 1,000 paper cuts if
Yeah.
you don't do it. That's how Killingly just erodes you at 3 and 4 and 5 yards at a clip. I think Waterford's got to take that away. And if Nurse beats me throwing the ball and if we give up the 40-yard play, so be it. But I'm not going to let him paper cut me today.
Well, if Sharp can't get himself going, and never mind 3 or 4 yards, how about 7 and 8? We're used to seeing that Killingly offensive line move the pile, not get touched till he's 5 or 6 yards down the field. If that is the recipe for success and Killingly makes that work, Waterford could be in trouble. Mike tomorrow
Tell
chiming in. Look
Casey
at
to
this.
give a shout-out to the Birdseye.
Hey!
Hi, Birdseye. Shout out
Hey,
to
guys.
you. Absolutely. Fans down there watching us as well.
Next one's on Mikey D, right?
We love you down there. Tomorrow night's pitch night down there at the Birdseye.
That's
So
it. Double in spades or what?
high-low jack game.
That's right.
Tonight's game is brought to you by MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick. At MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick, the end of the year is here, and this is their gift to you. The Chevy price you pay is what they pay, and that's not a cent more because they're running the MJ Sullivan Chevy employee discount for everyone's sale. That's right, you pay what they pay on every new 2019 and select 2020 Chevrolet models. Not a cent more, Sports Doctor. This will save you up to $13,000, but it would only last this month, so you got to get down there to MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick in New London or go online at mjsullivangm.com.
It's Christmas time and people are moaning and groaning about money, so you know who's not though.
Sports Doctor.
That's right. A lot of brown packages out there.
This is your time of year, Sports
Oh,
Doctor.
it is gravy time, my friend.
People say, what do the holidays mean to you? Sports Doctor says it means overtime and complaining to Peter Wappy that his truck is full of too many
I
packages.
know. Yeah. Peter doesn't want you want to hear that, Peter?
I've been missing my texts with a picture of the back of your truck.
It's coming. It's coming, fellas. Mike DeMauro used to get a kick out of that, too.
I like
the
how
back
you-
of the truck.
I like how you always seem surprised that there's packages there.
Well, you're.
Like one day it's just going to be empty.
I can't get a break from you, can I?
High, deep kick by Menders. Drives Crow all the way back to his almost goal line. Breaks a tackle. And finally, Sokolsky and crew will wrap him up at the 28-yard line. But a nice return by Cameron Crow, and Killingly will have its first possession here in the second half, fresh off their scoring drive of the late first half.
Well, I'm a momentum type of guy. Momentum is a fickle thing. Killingly comes out of the locker room with the momentum. You're an X's and O's type of guy, so let's just see what happens here to start this drive. This is a huge drive, Casey, for the Waterford defense to start the third quarter.
And they're tight. They're going to send single coverage out. I formation for the Redhawks. Handoff straight up the middle. Huge hole for Sharp. Sharp's in the open field. Sharp crosses midfield and the 40. And Brennan and Hightower wrestle him down at the 25-yard line. But a huge run on first down by sophomore Jack Sharp.
47 yards that time by Jack Sharp. Shot out of a cannon on the first play to start the second half. And the offensive line got the message in the locker room from head coach Chad Neal. He was untouched going through the line.
First down, Redhawks. Ball at the 27-yard line, and they go right back up to the I formation. Hand off to Sharp again, and he's hit by Jeremiah Harshberger. As soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage, it'll be a gain of maybe half a yard.
Yeah, that type of sellout pressure from the edge from Jeremiah Harshberger. Came up, made the stop. Him and Will Sutman, big Will Sutman, number 61, working that right side of the defensive line for the Lancers. You shed your tackle, you shoot through, and you make the stop in the backfield. Sharp's a load to bring down.
Yeah, this is the big play right here. Second down and 10. They've got him in a good second down and long. Little throw, bubble screen, it goes to Crow. One man to beat, and out on the edge, he avoids Hightower, breaks a tackle, and rides out of bounds after a first down. Big time shake and bake move out there by Crow.
Yeah, Crow's out there by himself, and a good throw that time by Nurse. He puts the ball in a position where Crow can make a play, and like you said, he did just that. One man to beat indeed.
First and 10, Killingly, ball inside the 20. Handoff, Sharp. Right off of the left side of his center for a gain of 3.
Like the way Sharp, he gets his ankles and legs wrapped up by a would-be tackler, and he just kind of leans forward. There's no playing around. I'm going to stick my head down, and I'd rather get 3 than try to bounce that to the outside and barely get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's Emmett Smith, not Barry Sanders.
No, that's right.
He runs people over.
That's what he does, yes.
RPO.
It's not a Barry Sanders type of move. He is the dancing on the edge type of player.
He's a deliberate runner, but he's got explosiveness. He's not as elusive as much as he is smart.
9 guys in the box.
Hand off to Sharp. First down and more. He'll be inside. It looks like right at the sticks before I speak too soon, but I think he has enough for the first down. Let's see what they say.
The left guard and tackle pulling that time for the Red Hawks, leading the way for Sharp. He's got an entourage in front of him, and he is very, very close to a first down.
And it is a first
and
down,
goal, yeah.
First and goal, Red Hawks. Very easy here on the opening drive of the second half.
The big run by Sharp, 42 yards.
From the split pro. Keeper Nurse straight up the middle, untouched, too easy. Touchdown, Red Hawks, and they have their first lead of the ball game.
Jacob Nurse, 6th rushing touchdown of the year. Right up the gut, and there's your answer. Come out of the locker room for Chad Neal and Killingly.
Jax comes in for the extra point for Killingly. And we're going to get a little jumping on the Waterford side of things, and it'll be offsides encroachment against the Lancers.
Will they go for 2 on this?
Half the distance to the goal.
He picked up the tee, and he said, let's go for 2, says Chad Neal. There you go.
And so the Red Hawks will choose to go for 2. Here we go, Nurse under center. And he keeps it again, dives forward, waiting for the official signal, and he's in.
Well, a little giddy up in his step that time. Great patient run that time by Nurse. He waited for the hole to develop. He saw it, a little extra hitch and go, and he stuck his head in for the 2-point conversion. Smart football player.
Now
so
you
the
have
penalty cost the Lancers. I'm sorry.
No, you're right, Sports Doctor. The penalty did cost them, but I need to ask you now: is Waterford now? Is this the? They just taken the punch to the jaw?
Yes,
it's time
this
to
is
find
it.
out.
This is it. You're about to find out their medal right now. That is a. Let me ask you: what's the difference coming out of the locker room? What's the difference in the Killingly team? The run game?
Oh, I kind of feel
the big run.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Killingly's two-faced. Like they came out and they weren't Killingly to start the game, and now they were. It's like it's like we were expecting them to come out and be Bette Midler, and instead they came out like Christina Aguilera in the first half.
Yeah, you go back to that 99-yard drive to close out the first Bette Midler.
Thank you.
Close out the first half, but that 99-yard drive and that going forward on 4th and 1 from your 10-yard line. I think Chad Neal was frustrated and kind of lit a fire in those guys' fannies a little bit.
Jax with a line, squibber bouncing around.
That's trouble.
Takes a left-hand turn on Vincent. He picks it up and he bounces out of bounds, but he'll be inside the 20-yard line.
That's a free ball down there, too, and that thing's floating around live like that. Scoop it up. Now we're going to see what this Waterford offense is made out of. Like you said, a little gut check time for the Lancers.
The problem with Waterford's defense is the gaping holes that were there up the middle, which weren't there in the first half. Sharp had that big one, and I've never seen a quarterback keeper so untouched. He could have run all the way to the Hamptons.
Right.
So it'll be first down, and Waterford is getting backed up even deeper.
Hamptons, it's a long run.
I think he could have made it all the way there. And as things get worse for Waterford, they get a penalty that backs them up inside their own 10-yard line.
Yeah. Rain's picking up, coming a little sideways now.
You said it was gonna.
Yeah.
So first down, Waterford. Bakken from the shotgun. Handoff straight up the middle. It goes to Hightower. A couple yards on first down.
Never really seen a lot of Harshberger carrying the football yet in this game. It's an offense that's featured a little bit of everything in the first half, but Harshberger paid big dividends down the stretch, against Canton and certainly against East Lyme on Thanksgiving Day.
Buck and high snap, hands off to Hightower, and he's wrestled to the ground by Galarza after a gain of maybe half a yard. This is a huge, huge third down for Waterford.
Third down, 3rd and 7. With the rain coming in a little bit heavier, some of the high snaps, bad things could happen here if you're the Lancers.
You're down a score.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and long. You're on your own,
You've
inside your 10.
You've taken a big, big right to the jaw from Killingly.
Yeah, this is a huge play here for Waterford. Snap is good, pressured, steps up, and they're gonna, no, he avoids it. He's still on his feet, tosses it in the air. It's caught by Vincent, and he's laid out. What a hit by Duronsel.
Incomplete. He called that caught ball? The official closest to me says incomplete.
That is a caught ball and a first down for Waterford. First of all, now they're saying, no, they're not
saying caught ball, yeah. Wow.
First of all, Bakken escaped like Houdini. Second of all, Vincent made an unbelievable catch and got hammered and held onto the football. Delay handoff, Harshberger on first down, breaks a tackle, and he'll have about 5. Let's go back to the previous play, because Bakken, I had him sacked.
Yeah.
I don't know how he avoided that.
He stepped up, and the ability to look downfield.
Yeah, I thought he was going to run it, but instead he sees Vincent. Vincent goes up and makes an amazing catch, and Duronsel just crushed him, and he held on to the football. That's a huge – if Waterford puts points on the board here or not, that was a huge play. Move the chains, keep the clock
7 yards on first down by Harshberger, too.
In motion, Brennan. There's a delayed handoff to Hightower. And Hightower smartly cuts it back up inside of Smith and gets a yard and a half, where it looked like if he had bounced it outside, he would have gotten none.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and less than a yard. And you see Duronsel now. He's cheating from his safety or inside linebacker position on every play.
Bakken comes right up under center on the quarterback keeper. And not a lot of movement, but I think enough. We'll see what the officials say. He needed to get over to the 30-yard line. It looks like he's going to have it. And, yeah, he'll cross the 30-yard line, so that'll be enough to move the chains. The ball will be right on the 30-yard line.
We hadn't seen Waterford take a shot yet downfield, with that one-on-one coverage on the outside to Vincent or Menders in the mix as well. Is that available for them?
That's a good question.
No, yeah, because we've seen big plays out of them all year long.
Yeah, that's a good question. First down, Lancers. Handoff Hightower. Nice hole, but he stood up by Cresswell after a gain of 2. I thought Hightower had a little room.
Yeah, their biggest plays have come off the end arounds, and they're double reverse with Menders and Vincent, or Vincent on the end around. But sometimes they can take a shot, get you in that one-on-one coverage, throw the ball over the top, to Vincent or Menders, and they have not done yet.
If Waterford right now, I think, is going to keep the ball on the ground. They're going to look. They're going to try to move the chains and get back settled after they got rocked. They got rocked by the right hand, right? Yep. Settle it down. In motion, Brennan. Jet sweep to Brennan, looking to get outside. Bounces it outside, and I don't think he got much.
That's Duronsel again on the stop, number 10, going sideline to sideline. Then again, speed, tracking down speed will bring up another big third down for this Waterford offense. It's about 6 or call it a long 6, a short 7.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. We know Waterford doesn't love to punt, but I'd almost say you have to put it in Harshberger's hands here. Even twice. I don't think you can afford to punt it back to Keller.
You don't want to give it back.
Rain is coming down. 3rd and 6.
Oh, yeah, hard count there.
Hard count. I think they got the Red Hawks to jump, and yes, they did. And that's going to take a 3rd and almost 7 down to a very manageable 3rd and 2.
Very uncharacteristic of this Red Hawk team. Coach is next to us to our right-hand side, frustrated.
So now Waterford went from a limited playbook to the entire playbook here on 3rd and 2.
And it still starts with number 44, I think.
Handoff, Harshberger. And he's still fighting. Let's see where they give the forward progress to. Here's going to be short. They got him right shy of the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up fourth and maybe a yard, half a yard.
I think John Strecker will roll the dice here and go for it on fourth down. You got to go for it. Yeah.
The question is quarterback keeper or Harshberger?
Yes.
Or do you roll the dice and go outside with that outside run with a guy like Vincent or Brennan, who's your
here's
more
that double
runner.
wing formation.
Bakken. There's that outside handoff. Hightower bounces it, has to reach for it. It's all about the spot, and I don't think he got it.
I don't think he got there either. Too cute on 4th and 1 when you got number 44 in the backfield. Give it to the big man and let him make a play. Great job by Killingley containing on the outside. I don't think he's there.
Nope, he did not get it. It will be a turnover on downs, and the Red Hawks will be in business on the Waterford side of the field.
Wow.
Huge play, huge stop, and now Waterford back on defense. Handoff Sharp, another big hole straight up the middle.
Oh, there you go. They're just, the offensive line just moving bodies right now. Sharp can pick his spots, Casey, and that time he was tripped up, or else he was going to go all the way that time.
Gain of 6 on first down will be 2nd and 4, and this is where Killingley is going to take their time. The air will come out of the football here.
Yeah, we've talked about the assignment, blocking of the front line, the spacing up front, and the big holes.
Hand off to Sharp again, bounces it outside, now cuts it back inside, racing for the end zone. Touchdown, Red Hawks. Jack Sharp cuts the Lancers.
34 yards on the touchdown run by Jack Sharp, bounces that to the outside. Waterford in an all-out run blitz up the gut with their linebackers. Sharp breaks the tackle and basically goes untouched. They saw the speed from the sophomore, Jack Sharp. So if you talk about a gut punch and an uppercut and a roundhouse right, all within 7.5 minutes, 6.5 minutes.
And now the snap, low, handled well. Jax's kick is up and through, and the Red Hawks have their biggest lead of the ball game now, 22-7 with 4.5 minutes remaining. And it all goes back to the inadvertent whistle. The the game has completely changed since then.
Yes,
It's 22-0 Killingley since that whistle. It's a whole different game.
You go back to the inadvertent whistle, or you go back to the 2 missed opportunities by the Waterford offense. You don't like to look back and.
I don't second guess coaches because here's the thing, I don't know what's going on the field. I don't know what's going on down there. And they may have said, no, we need to score touchdowns. I don't know. Maybe Menders is kicking in the rain was a bother. Or the snap. I don't know. I don't know what's going on down there.
Right.
I just know that you had 2 cracks and you didn't get points. So regardless, their offense didn't get it done, nor did their kicking.
Right. You're not a revisionistic thinking type of guy. That's not your thing.
Well, I'm not that either. But
yeah.
I'm not a revision. You look for a little revisionist history?
Yes.
23-7. Jax will kick it off, and back deep will be Vincent for Waterford. Rain continues to pour here at Waterford. There's that squib bouncing kick, and it takes another great Red Hawk bounce, hits Vincent in the chest. He picks it up, and he'll not get back to the 20-yard line again. So there's another adjustment Waterford has not made yet. That kick is a very effective kick here in the rain. And this becomes the drive of the football game for Waterford.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got to get some points here.
I'm going to go out on a limb here with 4 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. If Waterford doesn't score a touchdown on this possession,
in trouble.
I don't know that they can win the game because it would require 2 more stops
and possession.
2 scores. So I think this is a crucial possession here for Waterford.
I think that Waterford is going to have to try and sneak that big play in, too. They're going to have to try and get Vincent one-on-one and try and make a big play in the passing game.
Balkans to throw. Pressured. Avoids it. Rolls deep down the sideline looking for Menders. Incomplete, but a flag. Menders had a step, and he turned back for the football and was interfered with, and that will be a smart penalty by the Red Hawks because it will only be a 15-yarder. Heaney.
That's Heaney out there in coverage. That's a good matchup. Heaney and Menders. You know, Menders turned around and came back for the football, too. The ball was slightly underthrown. Heaney did not turn around. He ran over Menders. And what is that, only 10 yards in high school? Isn't that correct?
It's a great, great penalty because it saves 30 yards.
But there's the shot I was looking for, though. There's that one-on-one matchup I was looking for, either Menders and or Vincent.
Unfortunately, Bakken, the only way he could do it was to avoid pressure
and
have to throw rolling
back
to
foot.
his weak side.
Yep.
I mean, that's a hard throw.
But I think Waterford's got to do a little more of that. Find Menders, find Vincent, let him get behind the defenders. Because Menders had a step there, or two.
First down, Waterford from their own 34-yard line. Bakken steps up, throws over the middle, high, incomplete, intended for Sanford. He was well covered as Lopes came up, and the footsteps, but the ball was overthrown. Second and 10.
Great matchup there with Vincent and Durantzel, too. Vincent will try and run that double move, Casey, where he runs Durantzel into the hash, then cuts back out to the sidelines. Keep an eye on that. Deep pass pattern, which is going to require some time for Bakken. A lot of space out there for Durantzel, too.
In motion, Menders. Menders gets the ball and Killingly defends it very, very well, holds him up, and a flock of Hawks to the football.
As Durantzel on the stop. Again, and Lopes is speed against speed that time. That play takes a long time to develop from Menders coming on the weak side of the field like that.
Well, I think at this point, for Waterford to make some noise, they're going to have to put the ball in Ryan Bakken's hands, and they're going to have to get some plays from the wide receivers.
3rd and 11.
Huge third down, and I think it's believe it or
I
not,
think it's go time, right?
I do.
If it wasn't the last time, it would be here.
Bakken surveys the Red Hawks and sends Sanford in motion. Bakken blitzed, rolls, has time now, throws deep over the middle and incomplete. Looks like some miscommunication between the receivers and the quarterback, and it'll be 4th down.
I think Vincent broke that route off. He came back to the sidelines, and Bakken thought he was going to run the post right down the hash. Like I said, miscommunication that time. And Waterford will go for it, I think. 4th down.
Going to have to look for a one-on-one matchup. They've got it with Menders at the top of the screen. Will Bakken have the time? Rolls to his right, and he'll do the pooch kick instead. It's over everyone's head, and it gets a unfortunate bounce as it takes a Red Hawk bounce. So Killingly will end up with the ball at their own 35-yard line.
Here's the situation with that. 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Will Waterford see the football back in this quarter?
No.
You don't think so?
Well, only if they give up a touchdown.
How many more possessions will Waterford have in this game if Killingly runs their stuff?
2.
That's it. That's it. I mean, so if Killingly scores again, you think that Waterford could be in trouble?
Yes. I think regardless. If they score again, Waterford's in trouble.
Sure.
I said they needed to score on that possession. Handoff straight up the middle to Sharp off left tackle, and he'll cross the 40-yard line, and it's just they're starting to get the Killingly yards.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, and Waterford's selling out. They're going to be bringing Harshberger up to the line of scrimmage, Sanford up to the line of scrimmage, and if the tackle is not made at the point of attack, Sharp's going to have some gains. And that's, 6 yards on first down?
Yeah, now Killingly will take their time.
Yep.
My final point, put the exclamation point or the period on the whether or not they should have punted it, kicked the field goals. I will give you the final word on that after this play.
And they will bleed that play clock now.
Stretch handoff, Sharp, huge hole up the middle. He's off to the races. crosses the 40, crosses the 30. Can he do it? Yes! Touchdown! Jack Sharp! Exclamation point for the Redhawks.
That's 60 yards from Jack Sharp, his second touchdown run of the game of over 40 yards. And that young man is only a sophomore. Get a good look at him because you're going to see a heck of a lot more across the state and in the ECC.
The next great Killingly running back has put his mark on this semifinal game, Jack Sharp. Jack's in for the extra point. And we're going to get a movement on Killingly. They're going to back it up. The point is now moot about the field goals. But the final word is the great J.R. Schaponi reminds me that on the one extra point that Menders kicked, he would have made it from about 45 yards. So it didn't look like he was having any problems kicking in the rain.
Okay.
So that's the final word. Jax is going to kick in the rain. And it's a low line drive kick, but it's straight through the chute. And the Redhawks increase their lead 29-7. Waterford needs 3 touchdowns, and they're not going to see the ball.
They're not going to see the ball, no. No, not going to see the ball. Jack Sharp right there with his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Ask
60 yards.
Ask me again if Waterford's going to see the ball in this quarter.
Yes. Is Waterford going to see the ball? Only if Killingly scores. Yeah, that's right. Is that a 2-play drive?
Yeah,
two-play drive.
Plays, Sharp and Sharper.
That'd be sharper image, would it not?
Right now, I'm just trying to look through the raindrops.
Well, the Killingly coaching staff, they've got one of the guys that runs out like in between plays, and he kind of like squeeze you in the window.
Really?
Get that.
You got $10 you can slip him?
Yeah, that's right.
Send him down this way?
I got 73 cents in my pocket.
Send him over to our camera as well.
The cameras, yeah. Tim Cook out there.
Right now, Waterford, and so here's the first time they've done it. They're sending Hightower back with Vincent because that little squib kick has caused them fits. And it's too much for Vincent to run over and try to field it while it's bouncing on the turf. Now they've got 2 guys back. Remember, there was a time in this game when Waterford was up 7-0, and everything was going their way.
Yeah, with back-to-back scoring chances, too.
There's the same kick. Bounces up, and Hightower scoops it up at the 20. And Hightower will cross the 30-yard line. Ball loose. It looks like Waterford will fall on it. And Hightower recovered his own fumble, and Waterford will have it at the 32-yard line.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Killingly has settled into Killingly football would be an understatement right now. Some big plays, back to the running game. And Waterford, the last 3 or 4 possessions, hasn't really been able to muster up anything on their own. They've taken away that jet sweep on the edge. And right now what this does, too, is it makes that Waterford offense, Casey, one-dimensional.
Yeah, they got to throw the football
to
the
receivers.
Throw the football. Yep, they got to get it out into the receivers' hands. And
they got to go quickly.
And they got to make plays. I mean, that's just the reality of it right now. They got to make plays, but Killingly's been getting great pressure on the edge. First down, Lancers. In motion, Sokolsky. Bakken to throw. Down the sideline for Sokolsky, incomplete. He went in motion and ran that wheel route, but he was incomplete. And I think he wants that one back.
Yeah, now you drop a couple of safeties back if you're Killingly. Don't let them get too far down the field behind you, and balls like that come up, the safeties can lay some hits.
I talked at halftime with you, Sports Doctor, about this game reminding me a little bit of the Ohio State-Wisconsin game, where Ohio State came out and just played a second half that resembled nothing of like the first half.
Yeah.
I just felt Waterford had too many opportunities left, and when Killingly scored that late touchdown.
That 99-yard drive on the inadvertent whistle,
Yeah. Second down. Killingly shows pressure. Here it comes off the edge. Bakken's going to step up, but he can't avoid the sack, and he's brought down after a loss of, let's call it 6, and that's Connor LeDuc.
You got Connor LeDuc in there doing work, and a timeout here for Waterford. Got to tighten some things up on the offensive line. And when you become one-dimensional, okay, sorry about that. When
Yeah.
you become one-dimensional as an offense, the defense can really have their way with you a little bit. You know, if they're going to give you the run, they're going to give you Harshberger all day long. But if we know you got to throw the ball downfield with deep pass patterns, well, we can unleash the hounds on you a little bit too.
Yeah, they've been sending pressure off the edge, and now they've gotten their angles right so that
Yeah.
Bakken can't step up into it, which he was doing. They were going too wide before. He was stepping through.
Right.
Now they're funneling him right into those middle guys.
Yeah,
Nothing really
Galarza up there, you know, disrupting the passing lanes and everything. So it's tough to get the slant patterns across the middle too, and you get the big guys knocking balls down.
You know, Waterford, we talked about baseball state championship and basketball state championship, but they've seen incredible runs in lacrosse, and they've had successful wrestlers.
Girls
and
volleyball.
Girls volleyball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a school-wide thing right now. I mean,
Right.
every program seems to be competing for a championship of some kind. Softball.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
They're all. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Sure.
And so right now, this football team has done something that no team in school history
Very
has done.
special. Very, very special season for Waterford.
Can't take that away.
No.
But they are in unfamiliar territory, which is losing before a championship game. Like what?
Yeah.
Some of these kids, like right now,
Can we get Juba?
Ryan Bakken's like, you can lose before a
Yeah,
championship
before you get to a
game?
championship game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he'll have the ball in his hands here on 3rd and 15 at his own 27-yard line. Straight drop, plenty of time. Deep ball looking for Vincent, and it's behind him, tipped and almost intercepted by Durantzel.
Boy, Durantzel almost had a little Christmas cookie early that time. A little double tip action. That ball kind of floated out of Bakken's hands. Look at Durantzel. Look at his hands. Like, how did I drop that? Kind of like a catcher's glove or something like that. How did I miss that?
To quote the great Milli Vanilli, blame it on the rain.
Yeah, that's it.
Blame it
Boy,
on
we're
the
at that
rain.
stage of the game now.
Great.
We're at that stage of the game where we're
You
doing.
can- you can
Mike says
only-
no. Mike says timeout.
Bakken's going to punt, and that's going to get over the top of everybody. And this time it's going to take a great bounce for the Lancers and all the way down to the 30-yard line. A group like Milli Vanilli, Peter, can only be described as great, iconic, because of the sheer absurdity of the entire thing. That's why a group like Milli Vanilli is the great Milli Vanilli. When the best thing about you is either your name
hair?
or your cornrows.
How about the hair? Yeah.
One of them passed away tragically.
Well,
good
the
point.
songwriting and the performance was good too. It just didn't happen to be the guys that you could see.
That's correct. And it really, haven't we gotten to the point now where no one would care? No one would care if that were now.
You're probably right.
Redhawks, first down from the eye. Look for Sharp and more Sharp. Sharp, off tackle, bowls over Sanford for 5.
That's it, 5 yards. I will back my way out of any kind of musical conversation that entails Milli Vanilli. I won't even step on that. I won't even
Sports
come
Doctor,
close to that.
here's what's really awful. Milli Vanilli might be the most absurd and worst group in the history of music.
Yeah.
And there's still 6 concerts you've seen in the last year that I'd watch them ahead of.
No. Skid Row at the Woodstock Fair.
There's
okay,
one.
There you go.
2nd and 5.
And a play clock going down.
Tick, 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 tick. Handoff Sharp. Big hole up the middle. First down as he crosses to the 40-yard line.
Okay, so now with that probably will be the last play of the third quarter. I would say that Waterford is lucky to get one more possession back the rest of the game, possibly 2.
Well, Killingly goes. Waterford will have 1 possession in this half. One possession.
One possession.
Clock down under 24 seconds remaining here. 1st and 10 Redhawks. And as the sports doctor said, they are likely to let this thing go.
They don't have to snap it.
They're going to let it run out. And it'll take us down to the end of the third quarter. And what a quarter it was for the Killingly Redhawks. 22-0 in the third quarter. Redhawks lead 29-7. Fourth quarter action on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
The Day strives to cover stories our readers care about. With a feature called Curious CT, we make it easier for you to tell us what you want to know about the people, places, and issues in southeastern Connecticut. You submit a question, readers vote, and we investigate and report. Go to theday.com/CuriousCT for more details. You ask, you vote, we investigate.
Tonight's game is brought to you by MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick. At MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick, the Chevy price you pay is what they pay, not a cent more. It's the MJ Sullivan Chevy Employee Discount for Everyone sale. That's right, you would pay what they pay on every new 2019 and select 2020 Chevrolet models. Not a cent more. They'll save you up to $13,000, but it's only going to last this month. Only at MJ Sullivan Chevrolet Buick in New London or mjsullivangm.com. Also, Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, their entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, convenient, and affordable dental care that your family deserves. Visit them at 177 Boston Post Road or waterforddentalhealth.com. On first
Sharp,
down, yep.
Tackled by Jeremiah Harshberger, the other Harshberger.
And that's going to bring up a small loss, 2nd and 11.
Very quiet in the Waterford bleachers now.
Yeah, those
cowbells are silenced.
best part about this whole thing is that I won't have to go onto the field to do interviews after the game.
No, we're going to do them in the locker room, too, by the way. We're going to do them in the locker room.
Coward.
I don't want the equipment to get wet.
Oh, look.
That's what that's
Look at
the
him
word
caring
for the
about
producer.
Sharp, straight up the middle, big hole. He's in the open, racing with Vincent. Vincent slaps for the ball, but Sharp holds on and crosses the 20-yard line. Big game, Jack Sharp.
That's 43 yards that time on Sharp. Fourth carry of over 40 yards for Jack Sharp. Stacking up the stats as the young sophomore. And like I said, if you're sick of him tonight in the ECC, get used to him. He's going to be around for 2 more years.
Give Vincent credit. He tracked him down from behind and tried to whack it out from behind like he did with Crow. He just couldn't get there.
Boy, they have produced some good tailbacks at Killingly. We go back to Lockwood and Austin Cafferty and now Jack Sharp. Who are we going to get to play tailback this year? They don't ever think about that going into the season. I think what it does is once you get a program established like that, kids want to play tailback.
He's got a chance to do some special things
Yeah, he
over the
does.
next couple of years.
Yeah.
He might be coming for you, Spencer Lockwood. First down. Stretch run, Sharp, off left tackle, and Harshberger, and looks like Sutton push him back.
Spencer Lockwood finished Casey in the state, like 5th in rushing, was it not? Over 5,000 yards. Pete, do you remember that a few years ago when we were talking about that? I think he finished, it was in the top 5 in the state.
Yeah, you got those guys for the
Give him at Sonia, yeah.
Newsome and those guys.
Yeah.
He was in that conversation, which was.
I think he piled up over 5,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
And then you got to run the ball a lot to get 5,000 yards. Second down and long. We're down under 10 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Redhawks on their way to a Class M final. Again, Sharp. Nice job by the Lancers that time as Sanford and Rosario Gonzalez combined on the hit.
4th in the state. 4th in the state in rushing. How many yards is that? 7,000?
3,130.
That's in a year. For his career?
That is his career.
Sports Doctor, 1,000-yard rushers are hard to come by.
Oh, okay, all right.
4th all time.
Like 3,000 for his career, okay.
I think Sharp's got a chance.
He's got
at that.
1,700 this year.
He's got a chance at that. That doesn't sound right all of a sudden.
No, it doesn't. I think it's got 7,000 for his career.
3rd and 7. Toss left, Sharp. Sharp gets to the outside, puts his head down, and he's rushed out of bounds by Brennan. Check that, by Vincent.
He's 4th all-time in the state at 7,316 yards, is Spencer Lockwood.
Yeah, that sounds better. Because
that's a lot of yards.
Sharp's going to get 6,000. I'm predicting
Sharp's
going
going to get 2,000 after tonight. He'll be over 2,000 yards.
Sharp,
he's got well over 200 yards tonight.
He might break it in this, in this game tonight.
Yeah, well over 200 yards.
So I mean, I think he's going to get to that mark. That's amazing. 4th down. Redhawks will go for it on 4th and 4. Nurse going to throw over the middle, wide open, and incomplete. He had his man Keith wide open, but instead cutting under it was Crow, and he was actually defended, and it goes incomplete. So Waterford will actually get the ball back with 8:41 remaining.
There's your first mistake, Peter.
Did Peter make a mistake finally?
I know. I don't think Peter made the mistake. I think Peter's choice of references made the mistake.
Relying on questionable sources.
That's the danger these days. You should have known when it was entitled SpencerLockwood'sNoGood.com that you wouldn't have gotten an accurate.
Just because it's on the internet does not mean it's true.
This is so true. Bakken will come out for Waterford. Into the flat it goes to Menders. Menders, nifty move, cuts it back inside, showing some speed, still on his feet. Menders looking for a block, crosses the 40. Menders crosses the 50. The opposing 40 still on his feet, and finally knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. What a big run by junior Sam Menders.
Over 60 yards on the pitch and catch that time for Sam Menders. Track champion indeed. Some nifty footwork by the junior. Big play. Boy, you can see what he can do in space. And there's another kid who'll be back for basketball season. He'll be running track in the spring and right back on the football field next year.
No rest for the weary.
No. I love those free sport athletes. You know that. I like the kids that play them all. Get the full aroma, as Jimmy Bunico would say.
In motion, Brennan, Bakken, off his back foot, throws over the middle, intercepted! Intercepted by Cresswell. And the Red Hawks take over.
That's trouble. Bakken off his back foot that time, just kind of laying that ball in the air. Ill-advised throw.
Senior Jonathan Cresswell with the interception. And the Red Hawks, and the question becomes, with 8:18, will Waterford
see the ball again? Yeah.
And we'll try to find out if we can get a Weston final, because we're going to want to know who Killingly will match up with as they head towards the Class M championship game. Toss left for Sharp, and a nice job as Waterford stepped up and got him in the backfield. Olbrist with the tackle.
So Weston going into the fourth quarter leading 30-0.
Yeah.
So it looks
there's
like
that number one seed going down. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to see the 3 and the 4.
Yeah. And Weston, again, one of those teams that Chad Neal didn't want to face.
Well, if he's
dangerous.
But he said, if I'm going to face him,
it'd be in the championship
let it
game.
be in the championship game.
Yep.
2nd and 15. And a hard count draws the Lancers offside. So a texter texted in earlier and said, as a football novice, could you please explain the hard count? So I'm going to bring in the sports doctor, and he's going to give a verbal demonstration of the hard count. So typically, we're actually going to go offsides on Killingly, so I was wrong. But typically, the quarterback comes up and he says, down, set,
down, set, hut.
And that's by going harder. So the next time he comes up, he says, down, set,
hut.
And they jump, thinking that they were going to go. See, there you go. Sports doctor demonstrating the hard count. That's in the game.
I didn't show you the inside position here.
2nd and 20. Little end around to Crow. Crow's got some running room, and Brennan will finally shove him out of bounds up close to the 30-yard line.
I was on the field before the game talking to the coaches and, throwing some passes and stuff like that with some of the kids down there. And, you talk about our experiences in high school sports on game day. To me, that's, it's fun. We talked about in the basketball court, and we spent a lot of time here at Waterford High School, and just being around these kids is great, Case.
Yeah, it is. And, this is going to be a tough pill to swallow for Waterford for a while, but most of these kids at Jackson, the Harshbergers will be on the mat next week.
Right. It's tough for us to see them lose because we spend so much time around them. It doesn't matter what team it is, whether it's Waterford or Killingly, and, it's a lot of fun.
Actually, they'll be on the mat tomorrow.
Yeah, Harshberger, yeah, that's right.
And the basketball players will be out on the basketball court. I mean, they'll transition. This is a great season. Lopes, straight up the middle, big hole, Jackson Lopes, and Hightower wraps him up, and he's cleaned up, but not until he's in Waterford territory.
26-yard run, and right now the Waterford defensive front is just flat out worn down.
Yeah, they're exhausted.
They're worn down.
The good news for them is that Killingly is going to take every second off the clock that they can. So now the ball will be marked at the 47-yard line of, call it the 46. And will be under 6 minutes when Nurse barks out signals here. As the Waterford faithful remain in attendance to cheer on this very successful team. Nurse on a quarterback keeper will gain 5.
He does that well. He gets to the line, he reads the defense. Do you think sometimes he calls his own number at the line of scrimmage?
Yes.
So if it's a run play, he sees the hole, instead of going through the play, he just kind of goes through himself?
Yeah, Aiden Hansen on the stop. I think if there's nobody over the center, just
Yeah, he just calls his own number. It just
taps
goes,
it,
yeah.
Yep. Because you're going to get 4. I
Yeah.
don't think he has to worry about that.
I think the coaches give him the green light on that, too.
It appears to. I mean, Chad, as much as Ryan Bockin's a smart quarterback, Chad Neal says that Nurse is the smartest kid he's got, too.
Sure.
So both quarterbacks, very, very bright. 2nd and 4. Toss left to Lopes. Lopes bounces it outside. Big hole, heads down the sideline. 1st down. Jackson Lopes inside the 25.
Yeah, a little north-south running that time by Lopes. He gets that ball about 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. The offensive line does some work. With a head of steam, Lopes picks up the 1st down.
So,
Too easy right now for Killingly.
yeah, the Redmen are on their way to the Class M championship where
Red
they
Hawks.
will play the Red Hawks. I've managed
We
to
got
make
it
the whole
once.
game. Hey,
Yeah.
again, 40 years of calling them one thing. It's hard to undo. The Red Hawks on their way to the Class M championship. They'll face Weston in a battle of the 3rd and 4th teams, but who many thought were the 2 best teams in Class M. Lopes again bounces off of a would-be tackler and falls forward. That was Olbrist again on the stop for Waterford.
Lopes picks up about a yard there. He's brought down
Yeah,
on
I see
play
that
by
Notre Dame
Howard.
umbrella down there.
And it's
So we
2nd
talked
down
about the
and 8.
5 straight trips to the semifinals for Killingly. The one year they beat Berlin and they beat Joe Barlow. The other 3 years they lost to the eventual champion. So maybe their recipe is just get there and we'll win.
That's right. And this will be an opportunity for an unprecedented second state championship in 4 years.
Yeah.
For Killingly. That's amazing. With a whole different group of kids. I mean, that's really something to be proud of.
Yeah.
2nd down and 8. Lopes with the carry. Bounces it outside. Nifty feet. Jackson Lopes sprinting towards the end zone. Touchdown, Red Hawks. Jackson Lopes, the senior, tacks on a little extra.
24 yards for number 24 on a touchdown score. Gets himself to the edge and scores a big touchdown here for Killingly.
Jacks will come on for the extra point. 35-7, Red Hawks. And Jacks will attempt the extra point. Snap is low, but it's handled, and the kick is low and no good. With 4 minutes remaining here in the ball game, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate and acknowledge the seniors of Waterford High School as they are represented on their roster. Senior Michael Vincent, who we've called all year long. Senior Trey Brennan. Senior quarterback Ryan Bakken. Senior Matt Sanford. Senior on the sidelines on crutches, but senior Peyton Sutton. Senior Gage Henry. Senior Luke Sokulski. Senior lineman Ethan Welch. Senior Garrett Rubino. Senior Jeremiah Harshberger. Senior Matthew Olbrist. Senior Thomas Patasi. Senior Sloan Dorfler. Senior Connor Yarmy. Senior Jordan Mayer. Senior Jose Rosario Gonzalez. Senior Jeremy Heineck. Senior Fadi Hage or Hage, I pronounced the name wrong, I apologize. And senior Sean Kelly. Those are the seniors of Waterford High School. The most successful season in the history of the school.
Yeah.
And they should be congratulated
Yep.
as they are playing their final game appropriately here on their home field at Waterford High
And
School.
you're talking about a group of kids that was 2 years ago 0-10, and last year 3-7 to get within one game of playing for a state title.
Vincent will pick it up and cross the 25-yard line, almost up to the 30, and Waterford, with under 4 minutes remaining, will have what is likely their final possession of the ballgame.
He's brought down there by Cameron Crowe. The Lancers have a 1st and 10 here.
So this will be the final time many of those players we just named. The last time Ryan Bakken will have the football, and next year it'll be Christian Hightower and Sam Menders' turn to come in here, and Harshberger, right? So there's a good three. That's a bad three to start with.
Yeah, there's some good skill people coming back.
Hightower, Menders, and Harshberger is a good place to start.
Coach up the offensive line a little bit.
And not to mention, people are going to want to play football at Waterford High School. Bakken to throw. Deep ball, looking for Menders, overthrown, well covered by Heaney. That ball kind of sailed up in the rain a little bit. Second and 10 for Waterford.
The rain is coming down pretty good right now.
35 unanswered points by Killingly. I mean, it seems like a whole other game where Waterford was up 7-0 and knocking on the door multiple times, stuffing Killingly offensively.
Yeah, we're talking about, possibly being up 2 scores.
Hard to believe. A different Red Hawk team since then. Hightower with the handoff, and nicely defended out there by Cresswell after a gain of 3.
And you go back to that, 4th and 1 decision deep in your own territory, you go back to the inadvertent whistle, or both.
I think going for it. They don't go for it, you don't get to the inadvertent whistle. Going for it, 4th and 1 from your own 10-yard line is, that's a lot of confidence in your guys.
Coaching the team,
A lot of confidence. That's a question, by the way, when you talk to Coach Chad Neal. Start there. That's, what were your thoughts? That's a gutsy call. 3rd and 6. Bakken from the shotgun. Has time on a slant, hits Vincent. First down to midfield, and the Lancers will move the chain and play a few more plays.
Soft zone being played by Killingly. Giving Vincent a lot of room underneath.
Well, it's funny because in the first half we talked about teams going to school on how to beat Killingly.
Yeah.
School's out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, school's out, yeah.
I think they've answered that question.
Well, I think the big thing, too, is they made adjustments. They can make adjustments on the fly, and that's a sign of a good staff and a good coach team.
Willingness to throw the ball, and then it opened up that running game. And then the line just took over. Bakken, out in the flat it goes to Brennan, and he's wrapped up immediately by Crow. No gain, maybe a loss of a half a yard, and the clock will be down under 2 minutes by the time they snap this football. Love
it
that
is
sound.
pouring now.
I love that sound.
It is pouring. Tim Cook does not like that sound.
At this point, really, what's 2 more minutes?
Yeah. Peter, what is 2 more minutes out there? You've been in that position.
I'm sure Tim would invite you guys to come join him for 2 minutes.
Is that like a boxing round, which was like the longest, the longest 2 minutes you've ever experienced? Is standing in the rain. Bakken rolls, looking for a receiver. Down the field it goes for Vincent, and it's incomplete. At the 30-yard line, Duronsel knocked it loose. Second and 10, clock stops with 1:34 remaining. Oh, that's right, 2 minutes really isn't 2 minutes.
No.
The clock stops. Sorry, Tim Cook. We're gonna get a penalty against Killingly. And that'll take the ball all the way up to the 36-yard line, and it'll be a first down Lancers.
Penalty on the play. Looks like it's a helmet-to-helmet hit against the Red Hawks.
Helmet-to-helmet hit will push the ball up to the 36. Waterford, I'm sure, would love to get one more in here before the game's over.
Yep.
Little senior pride.
Yeah.
Bookend a touchdown in the first drive with a touchdown in their last drive.
It's been a good football season for game day this year, too. We've seen some pretty good games. The Killingly NFA game, Thanksgiving Day game, Mike and I did. Waterford East Lyme.
Bakken rolls right, throws on the run, and it's complete, right short of the sticks to Sanford. Clock continues to run. You see number 24, Gage Henry, into the ball game for Waterford, the senior wide receiver, getting some time here in a semifinal game.
Again, Casey, I know that they play the big-time football on the other end of the state, and I'll bring this point up again for the audience. This is a Killingly program that has earned that respect amongst the best in the state.
That's right. Bakken, and he's going to be sacked.
Talking about your second trip to a state final within 5 years, that is not by accident. That is not by fluke. That is not because you got a good player or two. That's because you built the program. And, like you said, they've been the big boys in the ECC for a while. And if Chad Neal can go on to win his second state championship, it's a tremendous run. It's a tremendous program.
Well, he starts cementing himself as one of the coaches we should be talking about in the pantheon of great coaches.
Yeah.
You ask how many championships the greats won. How many championships did Mignall, Bunicor, guys like that win? Deep down the sideline, Bakken throws, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Lopes. And Lopes will slide down at the 20-yard line as the clock runs down and out. And that will cap your ball game. Congratulations, Chad Neal and the Killingly High School Red Hawks, as you have punched your ticket to the Class M championship game, where you will face Weston in a battle of the 3 and 4 seeds in Class M. Congratulations, John Strecker and all of the Waterford High School Lancers on an exceptional season. To the seniors here in Lancerville, a mark on football here at Waterford High School.
Fun season. Fun season, partner. Good job.
We'll be turning the page to the indoor sports soon. Of course, Battle of the Bands winner will be announced in the upcoming weeks. And everybody, please tune in, as always, for highlights and interviews on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and the like. For a soaking wet Tim Cook.
Great job, Tim.
Peter Wappy, Mike DeMoro, and my guy, the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien. I am Casey O'Neill saying congratulations, Killingly, and good night, everybody.
Thank you all for coming out and supporting the Lancers this evening. After tonight's game, Killingly is now 11-1 overall and will advance to the championship game of the CIAC Class M tournament. That game will be played this Saturday, December 14th, against the winner of #1 Rockville and